Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Student of the Game. I know this is officially the biggest mind F in sports, but listen, an honor, joy, and privilege to have you here. And chances are, if you like sport, that's the reason you're here. Also, if you like the Huddle Up podcast, the other reason you're here for this mid-September simulcast. That's right, the biggest mind F in sports, where you have the overlay with multiple people from Michigan, from people who aren't Michigan homers, allegedly. And but at the same time, you're hearing offspring. Must have been confusing for all the involved. There's a reason for it, is because we are simulcasting once again the Student of the Game and Huddle Up Pink via the Huddle Up podcast, bringing it all together for some awesome football talk tonight. I'm looking forward to, of course, I said earlier, I'm Kyle Nash, the Student of the Game, but I would be a fool to bring anyone else other than the CEO of Huddle Up Inc. himself in first. My dude, Big Jim Knees, what's going on, my man?
Yo, what's going on? It's weird to be in the passenger seat of your own vehicle, but we'll soon be moving to the driver's seat, kind of. It's a very weird feeling. I'm not gonna lie. It's weird. I'm always happy to do it. You're part of the family if the damn soundboard would load, but we're working on it. Technical issues, but at least I'm here with my technical issues, unlike somebody who may or may not be in the green room with us.
Well, I'm assuming who you're talking about is somebody who will need a tool to repair his problem. But then next up, I bring probably the most analytical mind for Huddle Up Inc. that isn't considering himself a student of the game. In other words, he sets things on fire. My dude, the Burn, Mikey the Burn, Bernier, in the building. What's going on? Coastal versus the World. Listen, Shanta, clearly you're mistaken. It's
Hey.
versus the Big 12, in case you've seen.
I'm going to tell you this, Kyle, as a ACC hater that you are.
Which I am.
There is somebody in the building that should be rooting for Coastal this weekend, and it's you, because when they beat Virginia, we can have another notch in the ACC. It's hot garbage discussion.
Damn it, that is a compelling argument here on the, you know what? There's not even any dap in there, but I'm still going to give that ish a bell. That was tight. Well done, Mikey Byrne. Again, the reason why you're the most analytical mind in sport. Also, crashing through the wall. No, never mind. It says his device is not connected. Forget I said anything. And of course, the very loyal Devin jumps in. What's up, guys? What's up? Good to have you here, Devin. Doing a thing a little bit more quiet, criticizing anybody else's NFL team because mine got. Listen, if I may, I don't have taps on my soundboard, but if I did, I would pay you tribute, man. Listen, nobody wanted to see that. I know I predicted the Finns to lose that game on Thursday, and rightly so. But I did not expect Tua to go down in that fashion. That'll probably come up here at some point. And listen, hopefully our favorite promotional tool, Eagles Jaworski, will fly into the building via security van here shortly once he pays his phone bill. But with all that in mind, and listen, Jim, I know the sound is your board is typically yours, but I'm going to hand you the reins here as we ask everybody what they learned this week.
Yeah, soundboard working its way back to being even functional. But yeah, we're going to look at things from this past football weekend and what we learned. But before we actually jump into that, I was hoping EJ would have been here for this, but he's not, so screw him. The list of names, first ballot inductees for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, 16 names on the list. I'd like to go down them and just real quick. If we can give a yay or nay, do you think they should be first ballot inductees into the Pro Football Hall of Fame? So I'll go.
So we're going just first ballot, or should they be in the Hall of Fame at all?
Just first ballot.
Just first ballot. Like, should they get in this year? I don't know what all the requirements are. I'm not a journalist, but I play one on TV. So we'll go Kyle, Mike, and then myself. We will start with Earl Thomas.
As a first ballot guy, it's hard to argue against it. I will give a slight yes, if that's a thing.
Sure. Sure. Mike?
16, probably 5 to 6 get in. I haven't seen the rest of the list. I think just because he's the first name on the list, I will say slight no, but I do think he will get in.
Yeah, well, and to clarify, Jim, it's not so much whether they do as whether we think they're deserving of it. Wait a minute, I see a set of headlights barreling towards the Student of the Game studio. Oh no! That wall had my damn posters on it. EJ Christian, it's about damn time. Learn to drive. Jesus Christ.
Calm down. Hey, and Earl Thomas, maybe.
Pay your bills.
Is it a maybe? Is that a
Well, I to Mike's point, I got to see the rest of the list.
no? But no, you don't
Hey,
need to see the list. The
Fence
question,
sitter.
Then
The answer is
hey. Hi, how you doing, Jim? Good to see you.
I'm
Hey,
good.
guys, how's your
Good.
weekend?
Well,
Guys,
good.
no.
bleep your weekend. That's not what we're here for. I almost
No,
said
the answer is no. First ballot, no.
it. So, and the comments calling out EJ Christian off the.
Hi, Joe. How you doing?
Way to go, Joe, my man.
I
Joe.
said no. I said no.
Because
I
we
said
forced
no.
you to do it.
Don't be rude,
You
EJ
know.
Christian. Let me clarify the question.
Yeah.
Who else is on it shouldn't really matter. It's a matter if you think they deserve to be first balloters. Am I correct, Jim?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Your
Um,
call, EJ.
yeah, it's not necessarily based on what the size of the class will be. It's based more on if you think they are deserving of
I don't know who Joe is. Big
Joe,
Jim.
listen, real quick.
But no,
I'm a-
don't be rude. I don't know who Joe is, but he and I are friends. Go ahead, EJ.
Body.
excuse me. No, I'm already past football this year. I'm on baseball right now. The Mets are playing well. I'm 2 games in the wild
You may
card.
want to think about hockey there, Rangers fan.
Basketball coming up soon. Football, I've already punted on football weeks ago, man. I'm done.
EJ, you punted on the Met season in May. Shut
And I'm
up
back,
about baseball.
baby. I'm back.
No, you don't get to punt on it and then come back. He's been dealing with the complete meltdown of the Orioles, and I'm still with them. You don't get to come back to baseball.
Gymnies. It's a free country, okay? Not
Yeah.
free, a free
I don't know.
country.
Not if you win the election there. Anyway,
Excuse me.
No, I don't think. Shut up. I don't think Earl Thomas should be at first ballot. Next one, Aqib Talib.
yes.
No. Oh,
All right, we'll go Kyle, EJ, Mike, and then me.
thank you. I was going to say with order.
Yeah, if you were here on time, you would know this.
Damn.
Oh, my bad. No.
Mike.
Yes.
Okay. I'll go no. I'm also a little biased because I do see the whole list, but I'm trying to do my best. Antoine Bethea.
No.
No.
Pass.
Pass.
That's a no. That's a no.
That's a no.
Yes, that is a no.
Yeah.
Delaney Walker.
No.
No.
As a Niner on the panel, no. Not
No.
first ballot.
Yes, no, not a
Hail to the no. To the no.
Hey, sir, show some respect. You do not Bishop Bullwinkle Delaney Walker, sir.
No.
Hell no. Oh, welcome back, soundboard.
There we go. We are back. At least I have one, EJ.
Apparently, you wrecking through that.
Calm
wall.
down, Jim. Calm down.
Apparently, you wrecking through that.
Vernon
wall.
Davis.
Something.
Who that?
Vernon Davis.
No.
No.
Actually, you know what, Mike? Bishop Bullwinkle, that one.
Yeah, you're right. No.
Yeah, no. Demarius Thomas.
Ooh,
That's tough.
I'm going to say a slight no, but if he does, I'm not mad. Yes, slight. Thank you, EJ. Correct.
I kind of want to say yes, honestly, but to no.
I'm not mad at you for that. You've made worse takes. We'll see some of them later tonight. More on that later.
It's coming.
Mikey B.
Yes. 1,000% yes.
Oh, wow. Ooh, that's
Yeah, I'll actually give a yes. I'll give a yes on this one.
Holy snap.
Jim's a nice guy. Jim is all sympathetic, you know.
I don't know if it's 1,000% yes, like Mike.
I mean, I look at it.
Go ahead, Mike.
The catch to the Tebow slant pass, all of the big plays that he made while he was in Denver. I mean, this is one of those things where the unfortunate timing of his passing makes this feel like, is it going to be the, oh, let's get him in now kind of thing? Well, but it's,
Right.
I think his on-field play has earned him that ability to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
And let me clarify this. There's so many receivers that are deserving that are still waiting, and plenty of guys that had to wait when they shouldn't, but like you said, I think the posthumous factor
Right.
is gonna crowbar him in. And I'm not
Hey,
mad
Kyle.
at that. I'm just explaining it. Go ahead.
Are you purposely pissing me off right now by leaving Joe's comment on here for over 3 minutes?
Actually,
I
no,
would.
I'm not, but I'm glad I did.
No, it's just a happy accident.
really is.
I'm just saying.
That's
It's
100%. That's 100% Bob Ross. You're not wrong.
It's just a happy accident. All right, next one.
Yeah.
Darren Sproles.
No,
No.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
that pattern's too full. You're correct.
Awful. Also a no. Marshawn Lynch.
Ooh.
The only reason I'm saying yes is because Pete Carroll stole the yes from him by making the worst offensive play call in Super Bowl history. So put me down for yes.
I don't hate it. EJ.
Apparently he's lagging and there's damage to the security van. Burn.
He's stuck in EJ face.
Yep, that's so good. I'm gonna say yes. I think this is the easiest one I've had so far.
Bye, EJ. Yeah, I would agree. Yes on this one. Joe Staley.
100% yes.
Factual.
Yes, absolutely. Ryan Khalil.
I'm sorry. I just saw this comment and it knocked me way the hell off.
Yes. I love it.
Resting EJ face for the
It's so good.
podcast out there. Oh my god.
It's so good.
No,
That feels like a t-shirt.
Ryan Khalil. You mean center Ryan Khalil? Man, that's God Lord, that's a hard one. Like if I were EJ, I would say yes and no B. No, slight yes, and please, if you need to call out my offensive line bias.
That's fine. Mikey B.
I'm gonna say I think he's a slam dunk Hall of Famer, but I don't know that it's on the first ballot.
I'm right with you, buddy. That's a good take.
Yeah, that's the tough part with some of these. I will go no, but I mean no on the first ballot. Yes on Hall of Fame.
Right.
Travis Frederick.
Who?
Offensive lineman, played I think his whole career in Dallas.
Oh, yeah, no.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Possible Hall of Famer. I don't even know if he's a lock for Hall of Fame, but negative on first ballot. Marshall Yanda.
Oh, that's an absolute yes. That's an absolute yes. The Ravens, such as they were, the way they existed and the way he made them exist from the guard position. Is there a reverse Bullwinkle? Like, do we call that a Rocky burn? Is that what that is? I don't
Yes, 100%. Yes, hell yes.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%, unequivocally, yes. Adam Vinatieri.
Yes. I mean,
With
that poor guy hid Tom Brady's failings for so many big games, did he not, guys? I mean, but
Tell us
nobody
how
wants
you
to
really
talk
feel,
about that.
Kyle.
Sorry, what?
Tell us how you really feel, Kyle.
Bro, I can't curse on this show, remember?
Yeah, there you go. That is true. That is true. Mikey B.
Yeah, I think if there's a kicker you're putting in the first ballot, if it's not Adam Vinatieri, I don't know who it is.
Yeah. What are we doing here? It's Vinatieri for sure. Terrell Suggs.
Oh, yeah. God. And the only reason I'm saying yes is because if I don't, he might threaten my life. Holy snap.
That's true. That's true. It's self-preservation.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree as well. Luke Kuechly.
Bro, can you do 2 first ballot Hall of Fames? Like, anyways, obvious yes.
Yeah.
Why the F are you hesitating? Man,
No, I was, buddy. You got to remember, I have the quad box going, and I got distracted on a Bobby Witt play. So
first of all, I don't need to hear that much about your kinky social life. Second,
giggity.
Oh my.
And lastly, glad EJ's not here for this. Eli Manning.
Hall of Famer, yes. First ballot, no.
Yeah, I'm 1,000% with Kyle. I think inevitably he gets in for the 2 Super Bowl rings, but
And rightly so.
correct. But I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He will get into the Hall of Fame. He should not be a first ballot. And I question whether or not he should actually be a Hall of Famer. But that's a deeper discussion. Like, I mean, here's the deal. He is absolutely getting in. His last name is Manning, and he won 2 Super Bowls. And he was the MVP of one of them, right?
Both of them, if I remember correctly.
He should not have been MVP of either of them. But that's another discussion for another.
More on that later.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that would be a good episode of. We should do an off-season episode of Huddle Up of the Super Bowl MVPs that should be different. Of course, we all know my answer already, but that's a whole other thing.
Well, I still say Neil O'Donnell should have been the MVP for Super Bowl 30.
Spoken valiantly, Cowboys fan.
You see what I did there? Yeah, Eli will absolutely get in. That is, whether people think he should be or not, there's no question that he will.
Whether Jim thinks he should be or not.
I think there's other people in my camp.
And they're wrong.
Well,
they're also Cowboys fans, which explains why they're wrong.
Wow, I don't know what to play here, but here.
What the bleep just happened?
I know, I'm trying to remember.
Don't be rude.
There we go. I'm trying to remember which sounds on my board can get me in trouble today. All right, now we go to the weekend that was.
I still want credit from the hip.
Yes. I'm still working on coming up with something better. I'm I need to dig into some movie clips of people learning things or something. I will come up with something better, but for now this is gonna work. But by the end of the season, we'll have the clip that'll make it worth the season. But anyway, we look back at the weekend that was in football and what we learned. Devin says what I learned this weekend is college football is crooked, maybe even more crooked than the NFL. Said he saw some close games this weekend that the other team could have won if the refs could have stopped throwing flags when they made some momentum.
Well, there is a certain team that overcame flag throwing and then got penalized for it in the polls. I mean, listen, I don't want to roar like a tiger about it or anything, but nor do I want to scream like an eagle either. See what I did there, Jim?
I did. Yeah, officiating in across the board, kind of hitting mid-season form, as is kind of the theme of this evening. But yeah, definitely some questionable at best calls. One in particular, was it flagged unnecessary roughness on the block to the LSU quarterback on the pick six? That one was very suspect, as some others, but yeah, definitely Devin's got some point there. Joe
was calling for the soundboard.
Joe knows.
Hey, you know what? I don't do this often for the comments, but shouts to Joe for calling his shot.
There we go. Joe's on fire tonight. Joe's ready. He's all warmed up. All right, Mikey B, what did you learn this past weekend?
What I learned this weekend was that Lou Anarumo has found the pieces to make Patrick Mahomes look human.
I need help with that. First of all, and you'll excuse me as the student of the game, I'm asking for education here. Lou Anarumo, please.
The defensive coordinator of the Cincinnati Bengals.
You think what happened, Homer? You really think that's what happened, Homer?
I mean, the fact that Patrick Mahomes has had 2 of his worst career games against Lou Anarumo defenses.
Okay,
I mean, there's someone who's figured it out. And a lot of the times when you sit here and you look, what's the one thing that everybody says that you got to get to Patrick Mahomes? You got to get to Patrick Mahomes. The Cincinnati Bengals under a Lou Anarumo defense is getting to Patrick Mahomes rushing 3 guys. Sure, one of them is Trey Hendrickson. The other one is Sam Hubbard.
By the way, I know his financial advisor. Separate question, but anyway.
Oh, okay. So I look at it from the perspective of a lot of teams don't know the formula to stop Patrick LeVon Mahomes II. And statistically, one of his worst games of his career this weekend in Arrowhead I'm not going to talk about the other things that maybe affected the way that game turned out. I'm going to take the positives out of it, and it's the fact that a Lou Anarumo defense has found pieces to slow down Patrick Lavon Mahomes II better than any other defensive coordinator has in the National Football League.
You know, Bern, and listen, I know I asked that joke with jest involved. And by the way, Jim, if you'll prepare the soundboard, because you are in fact a complete and total Bengals homer. No, wait,
Homer.
hold the soundboard. I got this. But, bro, that was fine analysis by you, and I'm not even mad at it. Carry on.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a tight game. Yeah, I know you don't want to touch on it.
Oh, I mean, I'll touch on it, but I don't want anyone to think that I'm going to sit here and blame.
No, here's the thing. The call was correct.
Yes.
To me, it's, and this has been my bigger gripe with officiating, not just in this game, in football, NFL, college sports as a whole, is
I don't think this game is the hill you're dying on, right?
No, but it's the execution and of calls and when and how and who, because like there was a more egregious call that wasn't called with Jamar Chase being yanked down by his whole face.
Fair.
And then
when he apparently
and when he disputes the call, then he gets a 15 tacked on. Yeah, I don't know what was said. We never know what's exactly said in those moments.
I do love the referee that goes, he crossed the line. What did he say?
Right.
What was the word?
Right, exactly. I'd love to know. I'm waiting for the NFL films to come out on that.
I mean, okay.
Like NFL,
just be a bunch of bleeps.
Like, I remember, like back in the day, we had like all the weird like sound effects to bleep it. I want NFL films after dark. Like, yes. you want to put that behind a paywall? Give me NFL films after dark. I want to hear that stuff.
First of all, we have fine footage here of Mikey Burns' face turning effing red as you brought that play up.
Yeah, I want that.
And Burn, I'm not saying this out of anger. I'm saying that your pain is felt as somebody who was the fan of a team hurt by Patrick Lavon Mahomes II. Child, get in line. At least you weren't in the bleeping Super Bowl when it happened. Boy, Jim, you are picking topics on purpose to challenge me to curse on my own bleeding show, man. Stop it. but
I figure if you break, I won't feel as bad when in like 1 hour 37 minutes and 52 seconds I hit the wrong sounder. But you know, and like that's the thing. It's the execution of calls that frustrates me, because the right call was made, but like I can understand why Bengals fans are frustrated in that moment because of what happened minutes earlier.
Well, okay, and let's take the Chase thing out of it. The reason why I don't like the timing argument is what people who are going to come back with, who actually believe there's an officiating scandal siding with the Chiefs, which I don't. They're just good at football, guys. And teams that are good at football and are experienced at football know how to leverage the officials. That's a thing that the Chiefs did against the Ravens last year. Nobody's talking about it, but that's part of why they won that game in the playoffs last year against Lamar Demetrius Jackson and company. Not to bring up another sore topic, Burn, but when that Bengal hit Patrick Lavon Mahomes II out of bounds in the last game where they faced off against each other, the issue was a right call. It was a boneheaded play. What about that Eagles Super Bowl? Says evil twin Sean, I assume, if he were here. Hey, you know what? How about this, Bradbury? Don't get effing beat.
Here's the deal. I listened to this week's New Heights, and both Jason and Travis were talking about it, about certain calls at certain times. By the way, and the thing Travis said is like he didn't speak directly on the moment, but he mentioned like other times in like football history is like as players, like to what you said, don't put the call in the ref's hands.
Can't put it better.
Right. And as frustrating as it is as a fan of team that is on the bad end of the call, because I've been there, Kyle's been there, Mike's been there, EJ's been there. We've all been there.
Yeah.
EJ's been there about 65,307 times with all
Well,
those
it's just
teams.
because he has 47 favorite teams. But you know what I mean? It's the thing that objectively, and not really that objectively, because I did not want the Eagles to win a second Super Bowl. Like in that moment where the jersey was pulled, is like, if you don't pull the jersey, the ref doesn't have to make that choice.
Correct.
It's that simple. Like, the call was correct. It's just, what was it enforced that way earlier in the game? No, maybe the ref didn't see it earlier in the game. I also like that's another thing just in sports in general, is we forget that the people on the field, be it the quarterback who misses an open receiver, running back that misses the open hole, the referee that misses this call, that call, the other call, they're seeing the game at a far different angle and speed than we are on a TV. So
It also depends where they're at. I mean, if you're at one half of the 20 and you're watching a guy go 80 yards, it's a lot different to see a hold than when you have 12 eyes staring in the end zone.
Oh, sure. The thing I will always tell people to do is like, go to you have a minor league baseball team near you somewhere. We all do. Go sit in the first or second row behind home plate and tell me how easy it is to be an umpire. Right?
Listen,
they don't put that little grid. They don't put that little rectangle like they do on the TV screen. I'll tell you that much.
It's best encompassed by the real men of genius, real
Yes.
American heroes Budweiser ad campaign, where they had Mr. Sports Heckler guy. You know, they say those who can't play coach, but those who can't coach sit 30 rows back screaming obscenities. And that's right, mother beeper.
Right. And I'm just as guilty of it, because I have lost many a voice sitting in the stands of hockey games. So
I'm assuming part of them was being un-American, right, Jim?
Probably a few times, yes.
That's the Rochester Americans, folks. Before,
yes, don't tweet me your hate mail. I'll just block you. I promise. All right, Kyle, what did we learn this weekend?
Oh, holy crap! I completely lost my train of thought. Boy, there was a lot we did learn, if you ask me. I'll say this: Sean, much to the compliment of the San Francisco 49ers, your evil twin, Jim, of course, implied that they have a lot of replacement parts. Apparently, they need another replacement part for Brandon Ayuk, who disappears as all these other Niners get injured. I said it.
Yeah, he was not very visible.
I don't know. Maybe he could pay for a replacement.
He probably could. He has some new money.
He's got fun coupons.
No disrespect. I see what you did there. No disrespect to the Vikings, of course, who took advantage of all the mistakes the Niners made, particularly Brock Purdy, who did not have his best game. But yeah, noticing that Harry Houdini is looking at Ayuk and going, "Hey, man, how did you disappear in that situation?"
It's like, I got to take notes. How'd you do that?
By the way, was nobody who had Harry Houdini schmack on the Huddle Up student game simulcast?
I did not. Absolutely not.
That was a heck of an effort.
Jim, I am on the teetering edge several times on this show already. God.
I know, man. I don't know what's going on, because I think it's because it's the Huddle Up background. I'm kind of in the driver's chair. Like, I think you've gotten lost in your surroundings a little.
Maybe you just pick good topics like a good producer.
Or that I am a good host. Who should be in the 20 through 25 count? Never mind. That's another thing for another day. Ernest, what did
Jesus Christ again?
EJ, what did you learn this weekend?
I learned I'm not necessarily I'm not an advocate for this at all, but maybe preseason football wasn't a bad thing, I guess.
Actually, if I may, it's not just preseason football, EJ Christian.
Yeah.
It's the lack of full contact practices to get O-lines to. If I may, I know I'm hijacking your point, EJ.
You just did.
Finish?
No problem.
I'm going full.
Go ahead, Kanye.
Full Kanye. Huh?
Yeah, go ahead, Kanye.
Even
I'm gonna
though
let you finish, but first,
Even though some people, on your TikTok think differently of my hue.
TikTok and YouTube.
Thank you. You're right. Your YouTube as well. Thank you, sir. I think something I would propose to the league is right now they have limited padded practice as an element of the NFLPA collective bargaining agreement, right? I think they would be wise, both the Players Association and the league, to break offensive linemen out to have full contact on their own to actually get a chance to develop, because that's the only way you can do it. Because how much have we heard about bad offensive line play? And let me flash my credentials again for those who aren't seeing the YouTube feed of my Aaron Evans original painting of me in my day. Shouts to Aaron Evans, former UCF tackle, and Orlando Apollo's left tackle, by the way. Former Eagle as well. Where's Sean? I don't know. He even got a phone call from the Chiefs and said no to go pursue art the year they won the first Super Bowl of Patrick LaVon Mahomes II's campaign. Anyways, shouts to Aaron Evans. But listen, all the above to say, I think that your point about preseason games is further compounded by that as well. Yeah, you're right. They need that time. We're learning why it's important. And by the way, EJ Christian, we live in a world where they want to take another one away to make an 18-game bleeding season. Continue.
Yeah, it's between the sloppy play, between the injuries, you name it, go down the list of things. Look, I'm not advocating for bringing that back into the fold. In fact, I would rather not have preseason at all. All things equal, I don't want it. But I will say I do see some of the value why it existed. I see the value.
I would give EJ Christian a bell for this point.
Is there an answer between not adding more preseason games, but and Kyle, I kind of lean towards you here because you actively cover an NFL team, but is it realistic that that's a thing that could happen, to have more contact practices as opposed to actual preseason games? Because here's the thing, you can add 7 preseason games. It doesn't mean teams are actually going to put their
effort
number one lineups out in the line of fire, right? But is there something I
said priest
priest
Thanks,
season.
Carol.
Priest season.
I wish I got that kind of support from my wife when I'm podcasting to dunk on my co-host. Holy snap, that's amazing.
Yeah, Mrs. Big Jim usually doesn't listen live. I will wake up on the day after the show and I will usually hear myself talking, and then I get very confused. I think I'm in a fever dream.
I'll excuse myself for a minute. You're the one. You're the one with the wife that dunked on me directly in a show on Huddle Up.
Okay, well, every so often she will tune in. But
bro, I still have bruises from the Michigan dunking. Holy snap!
It was deserved.
Hey, you shut your mouth. I don't care how right you are.
You can't curse. You can't curse.
Shut your ass.
But is there really a realistic pathway, or are we just going to continue even if / when they make it a 2-game preseason and an 18-game season? Are we just going to continue to see the de-evolution of the first few weeks of the NFL year?
I mean, the only
question was to the guy who covers an NFL team, EJ.
You want to say the D word, didn't you? Look at you. Look at you. I'm watching you.
You sit your ass down there, Eagles Jaworski, and be quiet.
Yeah, you promotional tool.
I like it. T-shirts.
Hey,
buy one of yours and I'll think about it.
Let the record show I want a promotional tool T-shirt long before an Eagles Jaworski. I'm just saying. Anyway,
probably make that work.
I
did just some of the designs on the store have just been revamped, as well as a new addition to the store. So go check that out.
You're a busy guy, Jim. You're a busy guy.
I am a busy guy, EJ. I appreciate you recognizing that.
I said trucker. Settle down, guys. No, listen.
You did. That's right.
You use the word realistic, Jim, and the problem is, I struggle even as somebody who who gets paid rather to use words and describe these situations, right? Shouts to the Fans First Sports Network, who lets me do that for covering the Jaguars, as well as the Black and Gold Banneret, who does it for UCF. At any rate,
Damn, Bill, I love it.
it's y'all's fault, man. Listen,
the best $3 I've spent in a long time.
damn, I thought I'd be a little bit more expensive than that. I mean, what?
You're cheap. That's why I like you so much.
Hey, that's right. You still keep making your O face. Anyways,
Wait, you're cheap too, Jim?
What's that?
You're cheap also?
Darn right.
I never would have thought that. Honestly.
At least he embraces it. I'll give him credit. No, but listen,
I ain't scared to admit it.
the use of the word realistic, I get confused versus realistic, as in it could be done versus practical. Okay, look at Joe jumping in. Hold on. My new best friend Joe got to get some dap, and my computer's acting stupid. Now it's my turn.
Is your turn to have computer problems now?
Way to
Jeez.
go, EJ.
Always my fault. Blame it, blame me.
Well, it's because you drove your dang security van through my wall. No, but give up Joe shouting the dude.
Look at that.
Roll dive.
Yeah, man. No, my dude Travis D. Holmes had a great show tonight, along with T. Whittle, who came on. Excuse me, not T. Whittle, Whittle 2K of the Coast to Coast podcast, talking the Monday night game with the Bills. So make sure you check that out. Thank you, Joe. Listen, your use of the word realistic is, I'm not going to say confusing, but it challenges me in this. Realistic versus practical. Realistically, yes, I said there's a practical way to do it. Break the offensive and defensive line out and have them do full contact and inside drills to get their stuff right. The reason why it's not practical is there's no way in hell the NFLPA will collectively bargain and allow that to happen unless they get a butt ton of concession that the NFL and Roger Goodell will not make.
Does college have any a lot of injuries that we see?
Some of them do. I mean, if you look at Cam Rising, Quentin Ewers, right? And then of course the fact they have Arch Manning just happening to be on the bench is the reason why Texas is number one. We talked about that, by the way, on the Earnestly Speaking podcast.
Cam Rising's 40. The body's just breaking down at this point.
That is mean, Jim. And Jim, you're a nice guy.
That's what happens.
Excuse me, sir. That's not Holton Ahlers of East Carolina. You settle the.
That's there's a fair number of injuries. I don't know if it is injuries because of lack of a preseason or contact practices, or if it's just an instance of guys getting rolled up on or whatever. I mean, Notre Dame had three big injuries, two of them season ending this weekend, but it was a matter of linemen getting rolled up on and being lagging. So I don't have the hard information to be able to say yes. There's these.
Right. I only brought it up because that's the only comp we have to a same sport that has no preseason football ish type of thing.
If I mean step in, EJ Christian.
Yeah.
Most colleges have a preseason. Listen,
except football, right?
Oh, let me hear me out.
Uh-oh.
I didn't say most programs. I said most colleges. I've said many times on the Black and Gold Banneret that Gus Malzahn has made it a tradition, the 2-game tune-up. You get, what was it UCF had this year? New Hampshire and Sam Houston.
Ooh, New Hampshire.
Right? Hampshire, exactly.
When is that played, though?
Sorry?
It's the first 2 weeks of the season.
Weeks 1 and 2.
Okay.
There's a reason Alabama plays, South Chattanooga.
No, that's Tennessee.
Well, no, that was just Chattanooga. Alabama played South Chattanooga.
West Saginaw Technical College.
And granted, some teams do go outside the box and take risks, like Florida playing, or Florida State or whatever. But no, but the punchline is most colleges do those cupcake games early. They're called tune-up games. That's a thing. It's not just a line from the remake of The Longest Yard.
Right.
And especially in a world where in college there's a butt ton of transfers. You need that time to get it all together. That's their preseason.
Well, I mean, the other thing is I feel like there's a lot more contact in college football practices. Those guys are literally doing Oklahoma drills and full contact.
Not like it used to be, buddy. Not like it used to
Okay,
be.
okay, but one day of it is more
Comparison.
than what the NFL is getting.
In comparison, right? Still harder than the NFL.
I mean,
does.
here's the deal. We're talking about banning the hip drop tackle. They missed 5 penalties this week alone that I saw, and 2 of them caused severe injuries. But it's because they're not going out and actually tackling each other. It's because they're not actually hitting each other in practice. That's the issue. And like you've said the whole time, the PA is not going to budge on where they stand with certain things, which is going to cause a greater chance of guys getting hurt.
And let's be clear, the NFLPA agreement I mentioned is something that came in, what was it? We were talking about it back in 2014 when I covered the NFLPA meetings. That's on or around when that started to happen, was that version. They were at the 2014 meetings, they were talking about that version of the collective bargaining agreement. And at that time was when they had the upward tick in all these severe injuries below the waist, because guys are so freaking paranoid now about avoiding concussion impact that they're overcompensating and ending guys' careers by, ACL tears and things like that. The hip drop tackle thing, I'm just going to say quickly, is impossible to expect officials to enforce. As harsh as I am on them, that rule being implemented is stupid, because I don't know how any human can check all those boxes in the moment and get it right. It's completely unfair.
The unfortunate thing, I think you're not going to see it called regularly unless somebody is hurt. And that's the unfortunate part about the rule.
That the result will dictate to the call. I kind of hate that, but by the same token, I think you're right, buddy.
Yeah. Because in real time, real speed, it's I think it's going to be hard to determine what might be a hip drop versus what might just be a awkward looking tackle.
So with that, is this something where, the college game, you're allowed to go to the cameras for targeting? Is this something where, okay, they may not call it, but is this something where somebody as an independent person can buzz down the officials and say, hey, we might have this tackle here that we've deemed illegal?
I hope not, but it probably could get there.
I'm going to go I'm actually going to completely reverse direction on you. I wish they would do it that way, because the official needs to be allowed to be human, because some of those bang bang plays are real damn tough, Jim.
That's fair. That's fair. The reason I say I hope not is because they don't have a quick way to do the process. And I know, I understand you're making a hard distinction on if it's a penalty, if it's not, if it's intentional, if it's not, especially with the targeting thing. But it makes games drag on. And that, if we keep adding things to what is reviewable and what isn't, it's going to make the games longer. So if we can expedite the process, sure. You have to and I get it's an arbitrary thing. You have to be 70% sure this is a hip drop tackle for it to go to review. And then let's make it a 3-minute or less review process, or so, you know what I mean? But
yeah, and I think you're talking about the pendulum swinging back in the direction of player safety, right? Where we live in a world where a guy that died on the field doesn't get comeback player of the year. We're trying to overcorrect, right? So I said Jim, I'm not wrong. So,
buddy, I'm in your camp on that one. I know we disagree on a lot of things.
That's why it's funny. But here's the thing. People, and Jim, by the way, you and I are going to agree that
that's a joke,
right? You and I agree that elongating the game is, air quotes, a bad thing because we're members of the media. Do you think the football public wants the game to end sooner? Bull beep.
Well, I know Buffalo Wild Wings doesn't.
My man, this guy gets it. Okay, wait, stand trails, damn it.
this guy gets it.
Okay, they want to stay at Buffalo Wild Wings or wherever they're at longer. They don't give a damn if the game ends sooner. They'll pretend they're fake outrage in similar fashions like woke people like you do. I'm kidding, Jim. But no, they don't want the game to end sooner necessarily. They enjoy the escape. What are we talking about right now?
All right. Any more thoughts on the preseason and lack thereof. All right.
Yeah. I do have thoughts.
EJ Christian has brought up on this show. Congratulations, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I have thoughts. Tony Romo, no. Eli Manning, no. There you go. Continue.
Well, Romo wasn't on the list, by the way.
I thought he was.
No,
sir.
Really? Eli Manning was, though, right?
Eli Manning was. You say no to him being a first ballot.
Oh, yeah. No, first ballot, no.
Good. I agree with you.
Yeah.
And we're
Oh,
unanimous.
my God. First time ever. You actually right for one, Jim's. Good job. Yeah.
Wow, rude.
It took you like 8-9 years on friendship to get that point.
Okay, rude.
The thing I learned this weekend, well, I didn't learn it, but I think a lot of people in the football world learned Derek Carr was not the problem with the Raiders. I've been saying it since he was the quarterback of the Raiders. I said it last year, and now you have an offense that has all of its weapons healthy. And you have a coaching staff that's a little bit more ingrained and is playing to their strengths. And look, the first week you did it to the Panthers, that's adorable. Okay. Like, cool. A lot of teams are going to do that to the Carolina Panthers. Now this week, again, it's week 2. And the thing that I've been stressing, and maybe it's part of what we learned this weekend, is that we don't know a whole heck of a lot about a whole heck of a lot of the National Football League right now.
Yeah, I mean, you would be a complete idiot to do a pretender and contender segment on your show with 2 games in the NFL. Like,
Getting engagement, though. Say, hey, it is what it is.
By the way,
I win.
Speaking podcast.
There you go.
That's right.
But like, because like, here's the thing. I don't. The Eagles are 1-1. Was the team that showed up in Brazil the real Eagles? Was the team that showed up last night the real Eagles? Was the Cowboys team that beat the Browns the real Cowboys, or was this week's team the real Cowboys?
I really don't.
Like there's, you know what I mean? There's so much that we still don't know because there's no real preseason. There's no real look at what these teams are. To Mike's point, last week after the Cowboys beat the Browns, he brought up in the preseason about the Cowboys defense, how everybody's healthy and everybody looks good. And they did look very good against the Cleveland Browns.
Excuse me, you're Super Bowl contending Cleveland Browns, right, Jim?
Deshaun Watson comeback season, Cleveland Browns.
Who said that?
And then this week, I'm not sure that any member of the Cowboys defense ever actually got to the parking lot. So is
boat raced.
Boat race doesn't even begin to describe it. But like, Carr looked fantastic. Kamara looked like a 20-year-old. It was absurd watching that team just do whatever they wanted. So to everybody that for a year and a half or more has been saying how Derek Carr is bad, Derek Carr stank in with the Raiders. I was going to say Oakland, might as well say Los Angeles. They live in Las Vegas, but who really cares? Derek Carr was never the problem. Coaching was a problem. Personnel was a problem. You give this guy weapons, you give this guy time, and he is a really good quarterback. Is he Patrick Mahomes? No, he's never going to be.
Nobody is.
Nobody is.
Exactly. He's not Lamar. He's not. I wouldn't put him as a top 3, top 5 quarterback in the National Football League.
Top 10, Jim?
No.
He certainly looks like it right now.
I need to see more.
Of course you do. It's week 2. That's the
I
whole
mean,
point.
I mean, let's be frank. He's in the conversation.
Absolutely. Right now, absolutely.
Through 2 weeks? Okay, fine. We'll play that game. It's fine. No problem with that.
Top 15? Seriously, top 15? Is that what we're doing?
Are we going through 2 games or through this is like a larger sample?
He's locked into the top 15. If he's not in the top 10, he's no worse than the top 12. And there's a real argument that he could be even higher than that.
So let's revisit the conversation we had 2 months ago then. What did we all have Derek Carr individually now?
I didn't have that conversation. I didn't do that show.
Okay, then you're fired. There you go, Jim. Would you have it? Would you have it in Derek Carr?
I don't remember. You're asking me to remember things from 2 months ago. That's a really.
Mikey, remember you had Derek Carr?
I probably had him
on your part.
I probably had him between 15 and 20.
I'm glad he remembers he's
Same.
married 2 months ago. That's my.
Yeah, I probably had him in 15 to 20. If I'm
Same.
And
Joe makes a good point here, EJ Christian.
I have him 20.
You had him 20.
You know, the problem with haters
Entering the year
is they're going to hate.
Well, he had a bad year last year, man.
Okay, but hold on. Let's. Who do you have at 19, 18, 17?
Oh God.
Let's start
Wilson,
right there.
Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, and Baker Mayfield. And Baker Mayfield's always going to right now much higher than that right now,
Baker
based on 2
Mayfield
weeks.
Baker looks good, man.
I mean,
That guy looks mature. He's making really good decisions.
Okay,
I'm
but
a big Derek Carr guy for the record.
but-
Remember
but
Kyle
Derek-
2016 MVP campaign? Who rolled that flag?
No,
Oh,
you
me, I-
were, yeah. When Connor Cook had to come in for him, you were mad.
Exactly. Go ahead, Mikey.
Derek Carr now wholeheartedly clears Russell Wilson.
Oh,
who
wow,
was
question.
even the starter in Pittsburgh.
Also,
he's-
you breathe oxygen, Mikey Byrne. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
I thought we were just
Thank
shouting out stuff
you.
that was obvious.
I'm just going based off of the 3 or 4 guys yet just above Derek Carr.
Sure.
The only one of them that I take over Derek Carr right now is Baker Mayfield.
Maker Bayfield. Got it.
Yeah.
No.
I,
And again,
I take Derek Carr over Kyler Murray.
Oh, yeah, well,
I take
question.
him over the quarterback situation in Pittsburgh. The fact of the matter is 2 weeks. He's proven that he can throw the football again. That his decision making has been very, very good. The concern I have here long term for Derek Carr in the 2024 season is Jim mentioned it. Alvin Kamara running like he's 20. Alvin Kamara has done this the last couple of years, and then he ends up in the last couple weeks of the season being severely dinged up, and then it makes the quarterback have to throw the ball more.
Tell 'em
So
what it is, yeah. Well, hold on. Let me stop you there. Is Alvin Kamara's proliferation on the ground or in the air? Because he has yet to have a 1,000-yard season running the ball for an extended period of time.
They also
him out
have
of-
Andre Miller coming back in a couple weeks too, so that can take some of the load away from Kamara as the
right.
season plays.
Well,
Jim, I don't
also-
need your facts, you're ruining my narrative.
But we're also running through a 2-game sample. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Kamara is more of the receiving where
Correct,
they
sure,
lose,
right.
where they lose him is it's in the pass game.
But let's be
Correct.
clear. But let's be clear though. We're also running through a 2-game sample. I'm not saying what Mike says wrong because I think if we go through 2 games, top 10 in the league. Okay, two games, absolutely. I need a larger sample though. That's all I'm
Correct.
saying.
Right.
Yes, but are the Saints contenders or pretenders? So that's the
Right
question.
now, pretender. What we said on the podcast, I need to see more.
Right
That's
now,
you need to
don't
see more.
know.
Tampa-
You don't know anything about anybody. That's
No,
the
no, hold
point.
on, hold on. That's not true because I said with Tampa, I said the contenders already. I said that on the podcast.
Hold
because
on.
I raised.
You
Hold on.
don't
Here's
know.
why. We don't know. Here's why I know. Okay, Jim. This is why I know. Okay.
You don't though.
They were in the playoffs last year. They
Cool.
won a playoff game. They
Cool.
almost won a second playoff game. So I'm
Cool.
basing it on a larger sample. That's all I'm saying. New Orleans proves people in a couple more weeks, and then we
This-
can have that conversation.
This
That's all I'm
year's
saying.
Bucks team ain't last year's Bucks team.
Okay, yeah, the
This
better
year's
right,
Lions team
right
ain't
now.
last year's Lions
Yeah,
team.
and Jim, guess what? Right now, they're better than last year, in my opinion.
You do realize Vita Vea is hurt, right?
You
Okay.
you do realize that Derek Carr has brought the New Orleans Saints from 6-11 to
Okay.
2-0 and just smoked the Dallas Cowboys, absolutely boat
Right.
racing them. And you're like, hey, by
Okay.
the way, a 4-point win against Man Campbell is
Man
so
Campbell.
much
Man
better.
Campbell's literally. Man Campbell's literally a mistake from being in the Super Bowl last year.
Yes, absolutely. But I didn't know Man Campbell played wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. At the end of the day, it is this. The New Orleans Saints boat raced on the road
Right.
a team that none of us in this panel would have picked them to probably beat straight up.
If I'm not mistaken, look, if I'm not mistaken, and look, I'm not saying the Saints aren't good. I'm saying I need to see more. Okay. They also started 2-0 last year, for the record. My number 1 seed, New Orleans Saints.
Yes,
So
and what
it's
happened
last
to
year.
them? What happened to him? Alvin Kamara got hurt. It's the same thing I just brought up. But Kyle brings up the most valid point that you've yet to actually use in an argument here.
Vea
Vita Vea being hurt. Guess what?
Yeah.
There goes the heart of their defense.
How long is he out for?
So if they give up 35 next week and Baker Mayfield throws 4 picks, are we going to have the conversation of they're now pretenders? They're not good because they beat the Lions last week or 2 weeks ago? I mean, let's have the conversation. The fact of the matter is they're going to play each other.
Let's
If
keep
I
in
may,
mind, I
Twice,
have
too.
the Lions as a Super Bowl winning team.
Homer.
Homer.
Thank you, Kyle.
But what if the team that almost went to the Super Bowl last year was more fluky? What if the mistakes are just going to keep weighing down on themselves? We don't know.
Okay.
It's week 2.
Okay. So here's the thing. That applies to a lot of teams, not all teams, though. Here's what we do know.
literally
we do know through 2 weeks the Giants suck. The Panthers suck. The Chiefs are amazing. The Niners are going to be pretty good.
Who are amazing?
Man,
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs are 2 plays away from being 0-2 if I want to
Yeah,
play the
yeah,
easy
and also-
card.
2 plays almost being owned.
so bold. I love the part where we talk about the Giants
Algae
being
meds.
terrible. If only we had a Giants fan on this panel, that would be offensive.
Shut your mouth.
That would be great.
Shut your ass.
You taking
Bad take.
Maalox? Are you okay? You got worked up.
He is
Listen.
taking Malox. Milk with magnesia.
It's algae meds here.
Between crashing through the wall with the security van and making that point, of course he's constipated.
Like Mrs. Jaworski just heard him screaming from the van and brought him Maalox.
No, all
It's
I'm
amazing.
saying is that you say like, oh, it's 2 weeks and we don't know anything yet. Yeah, we know some things. We know some things 2 weeks.
And listen, joking aside, there are some elements of facts that are out there, but much like power rankings, as things change, we will adjust our expectations. Using the Bucks as a continued example, the Lions,
most of us will.
the Lions, fair point, Jim. The Lions under Man Campbell were 1-7 in the red zone. Do you expect the Bucks, to have that kind of defense? I don't care how good Todd Bowles is at defense, to have that continued success without Vita Vea.
No.
I don't.
No.
I don't think he's out for the year, but the next game there will be, if there's a 1-7 in the red zone stat for the Bucks defense next week, you already know what we learned is on the podcast. All right.
My thing.
What we learned
is the things that we know, like concrete, set in stone, are very few though.
What we
Very
learned,
few.
Kyle, though,
Sure.
is that if somebody goes 1 for 7 in the red zone against the Buccaneers next week, Bo Nix had a great day throwing the football because they're playing Denver.
Hey, all I know about Bo Nix is he's the best press conference of all time. Bo, why don't you take us?
the Denver Broncos.
I need that clip. I need to find that clip,
Thank you.
Kyle.
Bo, how'd that interception go? Take us through that interception. Yeah, well, I dropped back to pass and threw it to the other team. Gold.
I love it.
Absolute gold.
I love
As
that.
a member of the media, I don't care if that's terse or short. I can work with that.
No, that's a great bite. That's 100% a great response. All right.
Great
Wow,
article. Huh? I love
that segment went
fun.
much longer than I thought.
Let's
Let's
This
let's
good,
go.
bad, and ugly still. Just imagine that. Oh my god.
Now you see why I changed the script this year, EJ.
Yeah.
All right, now we go to the land of college football. We are in week 4, and I know I upset Mike the other day, so let's go speed pick. Virginia at Coastal Carolina. Kyle.
It's often I do this, but it's not often I do this, but I'm going to go complete homer, not on the strength of the Chanticleers, but because of my love for Mikey the Burn, and my hatred for the ACC. I have the Chanticleers, why they may no longer have Grayson McCall and Jamie Chadwell as their coach. I think they handle business because the ACC sucks.
There you go, EJ.
Over.
You're
No. We're not doing over under. It's straight up. This is
Virginia minus 3.5 over under 55.5.
You're a beep, Kyle.
This is a student of the game special. No odds for the degenerates. We're going straight.
Show some
We're
respect
going
to the
straight
ACC.
pick EJ.
Actually, don't. They stink. So yeah, let's go Coastal Carolina as well.
Woo!
I will go Coastal. Mikey B. Do I have to ask?
Shots up, baby. Let's go.
If you don't go Coastal, Burn will go Postal. Boom! Bell. Where the hell's the bell?
From the hip? Is that from the hip again,
Good.
Kyle?
It's with the damn hip.
It hurts still.
You're
It's
really-
sore.
That was
That
good.
was a heck of an effort.
What can I say except you're welcome?
That's good. That's real good. All right. Let's go into the games this weekend, though. We start Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time on Fox.
Friday.
A Big Ten Friday night special. It is number 24, Illinois. They are 3-0. At number 22, Nebraska, who is also 3-0. They're a 9-point home favorite over under 43. Mikey B.
I have taken Nebraska on this show at least once this year and had Kyle look at me like I have 3 faces. I will do it again. Give
I
me
still will.
Nebraska
Actually,
and the under.
All right, EJ.
What year is this now? Nebraska now in the top 25. Was it 1993? Tommy Frazier's around now? I don't know, man, but
Hey,
I'm liking
you
it.
leave Scott Frost out of this conversation. You're not worth it even speak that. Man.
Let's go. Nebraska and the over.
All right, student of the game, Kyle Nash.
Listen, the only reason why I'm not looking at you with three heads is because Illinois is overrated as beep. By the way, side note, Jim, that Coastal Postal comment, I'd start looking around 57 minutes for the TikTok. Anyway, give me much. Again, I am resisting my instincts. I'm gonna go Nebraska because I just don't believe in the Illini. And give me the over as well. Why the hell not? By the way, Devin is the hater. See, I'm going to go full Steph Myers on Devin. The problem with haters is they're going to hate there, Burn. And then also, but then Devin continues to hate by saying he also has Illinois. But then Joe brings things back to earth. He does take the under, but he has Nebraska.
Yeah, man. I tried. Well, hell, you know what? I'm just gonna hit this.
I tried to tell you, but you wouldn't listen.
Matt Rule, year 3. I'm telling you, they're going to be undefeated. The last weekend of October against Ohio State. Get ready for it. It's going to be a top 10 matchup.
Cojones that you're appropriating Lucifer Morningstar for that. You better hope they actually do something.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
I'm warning you, Bumpy. Damn it! I wish this was your show because I wanted to curse at you so bad.
I mean, okay, so Nebraska over with the points, but I will take the under on the overall because Illinois stinks. I don't care that they're 3-0.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I have Matt and Sean's picks. Matt took Nebraska in the under. Your brother took Nebraska in the over.
Why is Devin hating me? He's disagreeing with all of us. I don't understand.
Play a soundbite.
No, he doesn't get that one. That's only for me.
Okay.
Oh, look at you taking ownership.
Fancy.
I don't care that your team or don't. How about that?
This is the rest. This is the rest of Nebraska's schedule between now and the Ohio State game. They play at Purdue, where Notre Dame just scored again. Rutgers, Indiana, and then Ohio State. Yeah, they're going to be undefeated when they roll in to the horse.
If they win this week, they're undefeated going into the horse.
Without question. And then after that, they play UCLA, USC, Wisconsin, and Iowa. At worst, Nebraska's 10-2.
They'll beat Wisconsin because
Wisconsin I said it. Yeah, I mean the only other tripping point would be USC. I'm still not even totally sure how good they are, but we'll find out more about that this weekend.
I know why you're cutting me off.
More on that in a second.
I'm talking about your team's future conference in the Big Ten, but Wisconsin is the most overrated team in the entire
Kyle.
Allegedly, not been in the ACC. Okay, I'm done with Wisconsin. Thank you.
That's fine. The Badgers seem to be done with Wisconsin.
Allegedly.
I mean,
thank you for that.
Did you see what
Alabama
did to them this weekend?
It's Alabama. They suck anyway. Next question.
All right. Next one. We have number 11, USC. Just talking about them. He was Joe's a Notre Dame fan, so he's allowed to say that.
Let me real quick, Jim. I know I'm interrupting you, but let me remind people of the overlay that has Michigan person, Nebraska, and USC on it.
It's all part of the game, baby. It's all part of the game. Number 11 USC, they are 2-0. They are a 5.5 point road favorite at number 18 Michigan, who is 2-1. Over under on this one, 46.5. Saturday, 3:30 Eastern time on CBS. Still feels weird, both at USC
really
in the Big Ten and that the Big Ten is on CBS. But here we are, Mikey B.
Sean has USC and the under. Matt has Michigan and the under. I will also take Michigan and the under, but I think USC wins the game.
I was very curious how Matt was going to pick this game because he hates them both.
He does. You're right.
Very, very much. But I think the rule is USC is hated more. I do believe, if I remember that correctly.
Fascinating. Okay.
EJ.
I'm going to take Michigan on the points
Homer.
and to win outright, actually.
Homer.
And I'll take the over.
All right. Student of the game.
So, and no disrespect to the evil twin here, Jim, but I don't know how you pick USC and then the under. If USC is going to win, that beast isn't over.
I mean, I guess he
agreed.
assumes Michigan isn't scoring.
USC has defense. They ain't got that much. Let's be clear about that. And listen, Lincoln Riley can fool me again. Lord knows he did to open the season. I give him props for it. Maybe he'll win the pack. Wait, sorry. But sorry, I had to make that
Pack
joke.
2.
By the way, as a side note, you know who else is confused? Hall of Famer Tony Baselli. I asked him about this at camp. So what's it going to be like watching USC in these other conferences? He's like, I'm going to be watching an awful lot of SEC and Big Ten football, apparently. That was his succinct answer. I
can see at least Sean's mindset. Michigan scored 30 against Fresno State, 28 against Arkansas State, 12 against Texas. Now, Texas much better than USC. I'm not debating that. But if picking the under, I think he's assuming that it's going to be Michigan's failure to score. That would be my guess. I didn't have a chance to talk to him about it, but
I didn't realize this was EJ at his high school prom. But nonetheless, no, I have Michigan in the under. Screw it, I'll do it.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I've picked them enough on this show. I'm not gonna change now.
Marge.
So I'm gonna take Michigan to cover. Ultimately, I do probably think they lose this game, but I like them to keep it close. And I will go a slight over. Slight. I feel like slight should be a shirt, by the way. All right, next one. We have the number 12 Utah.
Utes.
3-0. They are
on this, but Jim, I think, has Matt's actual question to this game.
That is correct, but the answer is no. College football has it structured for there to be no.
And Devin has
ties. But number 12 Utah, they're 3-0, a 2-point road favorite at number 14 Oklahoma State, who is also 3-0. The over/under 52 Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern time on Fox. Mikey B.
Both Sean and Matt have Oklahoma State and the over. Here's the question that I have: is Cam Rising playing in this game? Because I feel like if he does, then this may lean in a certain direction for the Utes. Everything I've seen is that to be determined is still the thought process that's going on.
I tried to buy you an extra day by making it a simulcast, Burn. That's the best I can do.
And I don't blame you. I blame the Utes. If you're betting this game, I say stay away from the line until you know what Cam Rising's playing status is.
If I may, Burn.
Yes.
What I'm seeing here when I look it up just now at this moment at 10:12 p.m. on Wednesday night, Cam Rising expected to play against Oklahoma State.
Cam Rising plays. Give me the Utes minus the 2 and the over.
Bam. Now, if they lose, don't make me a defendant. I'm just the messenger.
No, that's okay.
Somebody's got to see what I did there. Not just my cousin Vinny.
EJ.
Oh, sorry. I'm fighting with our other co-host who's a slacker, Matthew Muleisen. Anyway, yeah.
He's got to be in the building for that.
Yeah, he's slacking, of course. Hey, hi, Matt. How you doing? Give me Utah, because I remember I have them going unbeaten this year. Utah continues to win this game, and I'll take the under.
Who did you have going unbeaten? Remind me. What'd you just say?
I have Utah going unbeaten this year, I said.
Utes.
Hold on.
Did you say Utes?
Unbeaten? I don't remember that.
I think I have a more important question.
What?
You just took the under on a Utah-Oklahoma State game?
I did.
Only because Utah was in it.
Utah, because again, Utah.
Only because Utah's in it. I know what he did.
So yeah, under.
All right. Student of the game.
I did that.
Student of the game, Kyle Nash.
You want to join our fan in the chat? You want to join our fight in the chat right now?
No, I'm just laughing at it. By the way, I'm laughing at anybody who's picking Oklahoma State unless they're using the Cam Rising injury as a defense. If Cam Rising,
Come after me.
Listen, God, this is really tough for me for two reasons. A, I respect the greatest mullet in the world in Mike Gundy.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
And I also have a good friend in Jordan Johnson, former UCF center, who was vegan at the time when he was playing center at UCF in 2018, 2017, who is an O-line coach. I know. And yet I don't believe in the Cowboys at all. And it's not the offensive line, but the quarterback I have questions about.
I don't believe in the Cowboys, but that's a whole separate conversation.
That is not the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
That's a whole separate conversation.
I see what
It's a proxy war for Jim.
I mean, a proxy war is a great word, EJ Chris. When did you get actually affluent in language?
Have
Good
a
for
moment.
you. Anyways, no, but the punchline is right now I believe in Utah more than Oklahoma State. If Cam is rising to the occasion, give me the Utes. I'm not brave enough to take the under like EJ, though I understand where he's coming from. Give me the over.
Did you say Utes?
Yeah,
I
did say
sure
that.
did. I know that's hard to believe, but
Do
Jim
what?
me
Utes.
to defend Utah. I also think they'll win Black Friday against UCF in the bounce house already, but what do I know?
I
love
did
it.
see those the spaceman uniforms for UCF. Those things are nice. by
Hey,
the
if
way.
you think those are nice, look at some of the ones in the past. Those are relatively.
No, they're fantastic. I love
know.
watching those come out every year.
By the way, I love that. I love that movie so much, dude. My cousin
It is
movie.
it's a great
the
movie.
best.
Yeah, look, they're my Big 12 champion. I'm not abandoning them now. Give me Utes plus and the over because it's the Big 12. Are you crazy? All right, last one here. We go to 7:30 Eastern time on ABC. It is number 6 Tennessee. They're 3-0, a 7-point road favorite at number 15 Oklahoma, who is 3-0. The over/under on this one, 58.5. Mikey B.
Hold on one sec. I forgot to write the over under. Your brother and Matt both have Oklahoma in the over. Why?
Dude, that's what I want to say. Why?
Rocky Top
So
minus
bold strategy,
7.
Todd, and let's see if it pays off for him.
Give me Rocky Top minus 7 and give me a hard over.
To Matt and Sean.
You're better than this.
No, they're not.
Smarter
No, they're
than
not.
this.
They're not.
Thought so.
EJ,
Not.
stop talking over the bite. I'll
Thank you.
play it again. Shut your hole.
You're better than this. You're smarter than this.
Nope.
At least I thought so.
I got bad news for you. He's not the only Oklahoma person.
my
And guess
God.
what? I'm gonna
Nice.
Mike make some, I'm
Ideas.
gonna
Give us
dumb
your
your back right
ideas.
now because I agree. Tennessee and the over. Easy.
Wait, what? So you talked over the sound bite just to tell Jim you agree with him. Excuse me, Jim.
No, I agree with Mike.
I don't. No, you don't. Wait, what?
Mike said Tennessee and the over.
I did.
So do
Jim,
I.
can you play the bite again? I don't even know what the bleep is going on here.
That was one of the ideas, but it wasn't a very good one.
They have Oklahoma. They picked Oklahoma to win.
Right, and so did Joe, who was on the screen.
And they're both wrong. It's Tennessee and the over. That's the right way.
Well, that's what Devin said.
Thank you. Is it Star Trek now, Mike?
It's doing the game. Save us.
He's saying mute EJ Christian. I'm not mad.
We'll be the first time.
So listen, and I know it's fun to dunk on people that pick Oklahoma. I'm certainly not confident in the Brent Venables team, but you're asking me to side with Josh Heupel. Ooh, golly. First of all, the bet for this game and the entire week is the over on this Humpy Pumpy. Let's lead with that, okay? Against my better judgment, I will side with Danny White. I will side with Josh Heupel and say Tennessee does the thing.
Look, it's not that I'm confident in Tennessee. It's just that I'm confident that Oklahoma's not good. Tennessee plus and the over. It's easy, folks.
It is.
Let's not make this more challenging.
Apparently, your evil twin is trying to.
Hey, quick
Kyle-
sidebar. Kyle, what's a humpy bumpy?
Huh?
What's a humpy bumpy?
Whatever you want it to be, you sick bastard.
So white. It's so
Google it.
white.
Yeah, put that in your Google machine.
It's like the
Google
honky.
machine, EJ.
Chat GBT. What's a humpy bumpy?
Oh,
I'm actually curious now, but we'll save that for after the show.
yeah,
Please.
that is for the after hours portion of the show for sure.
Oh,
All right,
How long in the dark?
let's move on to week 3 in the National Football League. We will start Thursday, 8:15 Eastern time on Prime Video. I know Kyle loves those games on streaming services.
no, I'm fine with Prime. I actually have that.
He loves them.
3 is good.
But we will start with the New England Patriots. They are 1-1 at the New York Jets. Can I say GD on this show?
Yes, you can.
The goddamn Jets.
They are 1-1, a 6.5-point home favorite. The over/under on this one, 37.5. We'll start student of the game, Kyle Nash.
of all the hardened diarrhea corn kernel pieces of beep you had to pick, you picked this damn game. I know it's prime time. It's a joke, Jim. Settle down. But listen, Devin has confidence in the Jets and the over. I'm going to pick that. I'm not here to say I have confidence in it. Also, Joe jumping in, my new best friend for dunking so hard on EJ. Jets in the under for him.
The goddamn Jets.
All right, EJ.
The Jets continue to take the rust off right now with the easy portion of the schedule. Give me the Jets to cover and give me the under.
The goddamn Jets.
Right,
Under.
Yeah, a slight under.
Sorry, Kyle. Who did you take again?
He
Jets.
took the
The goddamn Jets.
And the over or the under? I'm sorry.
Over.
I need-
Over.
Sean has the Patriots.
Well played, Jim. You know what? I'm just for the sake of it.
I broke 3/4 of this screen.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Oh, God.
Joe shows his modesty. It's honest work. There you go.
Sorry, that's so random. Go ahead,
It
Mike.
was
Sorry.
great. Oh, hey, listen, this is why we do this show. That'll even work on the podcast, which you can find on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and whatever your podcast catcher happens to be to get the Huddle Up podcast or the Student of the Game.
The evil twin takes the Patriot.
I'm sorry, Mike. That's my bad.
There we go. Like, I didn't want to hit this, but I did.
Hey,
There we go. I missed that thing, too.
The evil twin takes the Patriots and the under.
figures.
Matt takes the goddamn Jets in the over.
The goddamn Jets.
I don't understand how this game could actually get to the under. So I'm taking the Jets in the over.
Fascinating. Okay.
You know what? I'm not going to say it because people accuse me of being a hater. So I'm not going to say it.
You could say the Patriots.
No. Mike asked how it could get to the under, and I was going to say something.
There goes his Achilles again. Is that what we were going with?
I didn't say it. I'm just saying it's back at the scene of the crime. That's all I'm saying. It's
Horrible
just
human,
back at the scene of the crime. That's all.
horrible human being, Jim.
And I can't stress how many times you have tempted me to curse on this show.
I didn't say it.
You morose so-and-so. You morose humpy bumpy.
But to Mikey,
This guy gets it.
Mike is dead.
Humpy bumpy. Chat GPT is asking.
Morose humpy bumpy.
like, I don't know, man. The Patriots have been some F word that EJ likes to use that drives me insane.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I got to watch it firsthand.
So I'm like, part of me wants to take the Patriots to cover. Like, the Jets are going to win this game, but Thursday games suck. The Patriots are just tough enough to make it close, but ultimately Jets cover the 6.5 and a slight over. Nope, wrong one.
China.
It's the wrong one. I hit the wrong button. That was for you,
Goddamn
EJ.
Jets.
All right. Next one. We go Sunday, 1:00 Eastern time on CBS. It is the 2-0 Chargers. I'm not going to say it that weird way EJ did on his podcast.
Chargers.
At
Go,
the
Chargers, go.
at the 2-0 Pittsburgh Steelers, who's a 2-point home favorite. The over-under on this one, 35.5. Student of the game, Kyle Nash.
Bro, listen. Actually, I may watch this game of my own accord because there's going to be so much black and blue and it has nothing to do with the team colors. Man, there's going to be grown ass men beating the entire hell out of each other in this football game, and God bless it. The Jags play Monday, so I'm free to watch this game if I could find time to do it. I don't care if my son's yelling at me or not. Listen, the tough part on this is, by the way, the correct answer is probably the under here. I'm just going to throw it out here. Like, I know it's 35.5. I know that feels low. I'm still taking the under. I don't give a bleep.
I don't think you're that wrong. Spoiler alert.
Thank you, sir. You can't accuse me of being a homer if I pick Harbaugh. Well, yeah, you can actually, but you know what? Give me a homer. I don't care. Do it, Jim. Give it to me.
Homer.
I'm taking the Chargers and Jim Harbaugh over TJ Watt against my better judgment.
EJ.
I already told you, I'm a huge Harbaugh guy, and it continues here. 3-0 Chargers going, and let's go to Chargers here, and the under. Coach G here, Jim Harbaugh right now. Let's go.
Whoa. Pump the brakes there, Humphrey.
Yeah, I said it.
I gotta see more. I gotta see more.
Like playoff Chargers, Jim.
So
Playoff Chargers.
You took the under or the over?
Under.
Okay.
Way to copy my notes, hippie.
You got it.
Promotional tool.
Matt has the Steelers and the over. The evil twin has the Chargers and the under.
Homer.
Smart.
The defenses could score touchdowns in this game to potentially get them to the over. I don't know if the offenses are going to score enough touchdowns to get to the 35 and a half. In an absolute dogfight, 17-13, give me the Chargers and the under.
Go Chargers, go.
We'll learn a lot more about these Chargers next week when they play the Chiefs before the bye.
I think we'll learn more about both of these teams. They're both 2-0 coming into this. You're going to have finally a team that's going to run the ball effectively against Pittsburgh. You have a defense that's going to put pressure on Justin Fields. I truly think that this is a learning experience for both of these teams.
That is a bold strategy, Cotton. You just said a team's going to run the football against TJ Watt. Okay, let's see it. I'm looking forward.
J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards have literally done it for
Mike.
4
Don't
seasons.
get twisted. I'm not saying you're a bad analyst or a horrible human being, but you're going 10 toes on something I want to see happen because it's good television. I'm just saying.
Joe Alt versus TJ Watt is going to be a matchup for the ages.
Trenches. Sorry.
I got Kyle all excited.
Oh my.
If you're excited, feel these nipples.
Look, I like a slight under in this game because I think it is going to be a defensive matchup. But in this house, we love football and we love Jim Harbaugh. Give me the Chargers to go 3-0.
Homer.
That's
Homer.
right.
By the way, at 35 and a half, I don't think there's anything other than a slight under.
Well, that's true. That is true. All right, next one we go to 1:00 Eastern time on CBS. It is the 2-0 Texans, a 2.5 point road favorite at 2-0 Minnesota. The over/under on this one 45. Kyle,
I'm going to call this the Janet Jackson game when Minnesota gets exposed. Listen, it's adorable that you took advantage of an injured Niners team that made more mistakes than EJ Christian in his social life. Okay, but I don't even know why I said that, dude. I'm sorry.
I don't know either. That's out of nowhere.
No, that was a random act of violence, and I apologize for it. Maybe more mistakes than I made in my professional life. How about that? But at any rate, see, I took shots at me. Now we're even. The punchline is this, man. At day's end, it's hard for me to take the Vikings seriously. Ergo, I take Stephon Diggs against his other team, going absolutely bonkers. CJ Stroud has his best game of the year. Give me the over with the Texans winning over Sam Darnold, again, exposed like Janet Jackson in a halftime show.
All right, very good, EJ.
Yeah, I'm with you on Minnesota being fraudulent. Joe Montana, Darnold will end this week. Give me Houston. Houston's 2-0.
Excuse me. Don't ever do that again. It's not funny.
Clifford.
You just look ignorant.
Joe Clifford. That's the joke.
Joe Clifford is better.
That's the joke. He's not Sam.
You said Joe Montana.
You suck. That's the joke. He's looked like Joe Montana the first 2 weeks of the year.
He looks like Eli Manning.
You're better than that.
No. Hall of Famer Eli Manning. Calm down.
I'm a little behind. Devin took the Steelers in the under, and then he's also Texans in the over, just like me.
So Texas hasn't played the best football just yet, and they're 2-0, and that's scary. That's really scary.
Well, let's give credit to their opposition too.
Colts, Bears, not bad, not terrible teams, but you know. In any case,
like
Stroud
and play the Panthers, okay? The Texans have played better teams than that. That's what I'm saying.
C.J. Stroud's MVP candidacy continues this week.
Oh, shut up.
As the Texans go 3-0. Give me the Texans and give me the under.
Why is that a thing now?
What's that thing? What's that thing?
The Hunter.
Let it happen. Just like whenever,
Should I not do it anymore?
I'll put it this way:
I just don't know where it came from.
if a large Asian country invests in the NFL, he's allowed to say China. It's okay.
I am 1/8 Chinese, so there you go.
What?
You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
I am. Yeah.
For that, EJ.
My great grandmother is Chinese, full blown. Hong Kong. That's right, NBC. Thank you.
There you go. Mikey B.
The evil twin takes the Texans and the over. Matt takes the Texans and Ernest's favorite word, the under.
Say it the way you do it.
Under.
No.
Burn.
Damn it.
See what I did there? I said your name and what you did.
Burn. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Hell no.
No. I'll take the Texans and Nico Collins having another excellent performance. Give me
On the
Texans.
injury report. I don't know how serious, but he is on the injury report.
Nico Suave will play on Sunday.
Apparently, Mikey
Put
is
it on the board.
the injury report. Well, how about that?
I mean, I wish I would have known the injury report and drafted the backup for Christian McCaffrey before week 1.
That's true.
If they knew that he was going to be out on Friday, that kind of sucked.
Yeah.
I'll take the Texans in the over though.
Very good. If the spread was bigger, I would be tempted to take the Vikings.
That's what she said.
But I cannot in good conscience say that this is going to be a 2-point football game. Like I can't. Give me Texans, and I will take the over as well.
Let me say this way.
Oh, go ahead, Jay. Sorry, my bad.
Now, if Minnesota somehow wins this game, contenders?
Stop it. Get it. You know what? I got.
God, I want to swear on this show so much.
You did. There we go. We're good.
Should have done the other thing.
How about new?
Oh my God.
Hence the, you got
Way to go, a-hole!
God. All right. Sunday, 4:25 Eastern time on Fox. It is my 1-1 Detroit Lions, a 3-point road favorite at 1-1 Arizona. Over under on this one is 52.5. Student of the game.
Yeah, when you say my Jim, you're asking for it. I'm just going to throw that out.
Oh, without question. I know what I'm doing here.
By the way, Joe offers a fair question. If they will be contenders, does this make it a must-win?
See, he gets it. Joe gets it. There we go. This guy gets it.
Joe
Gets it. Joe does get it. He's using your bad takes against you.
Yes.
I don't know when Joe's coming to Orlando, but your entire bar tab's on me when we hang out.
There you go, Joe.
Anyways, listen, at day's end, I'm not in a place where I can take seriously the Cardinals. I can't do it. 52.5 isn't actually an excellent number. I know I scoff at Goff often, and I know that the Lions have struggled at times against certain quarterbacks. Kyler Murray's an allegedly good quarterback. No, he's a good quarterback. When he can stay healthy, of course. Man Campbell's going to be angry, I think. They go 2-1. They win the football game. They cover. They cover. They're getting 3 on the road. Yeah, and then the part.
Oh, you're not impressed by the 41-10 win over the Lambs?
Excuse me, Jim. Can you find "shut your ass" and apply it to yourself? He actually does it. I'm gonna
asked for that one.
Shut your ass.
He really did it. Okay. Thank you, Jim. I don't need a Christmas gift now. Give me the 52 is a really good number. The slight over is where my gut takes me.
All right, very good. EJ.
Arizona's kind of frisky though, right?
No.
No,
not
not at
frisky,
all.
though.
Actually,
No.
How about you?
Beating a depleted Rams team
Almost beat Buffalo week
with
1.
their dead carcass does not mean a team is frisky. Sorry.
That being said, Jim, calm down. Detroit needs.
No, I will react accordingly to things
Detroit
that
has
you say.
been come out of the gate a little shaky, but I think they'll win this game. But I will take a slight under.
So much.
Just let him have it.
No, you don't. No, you don't, Jim. You don't.
The more
You
you
don't.
react,
You
the more he'll
don't.
keep doing it. Just let him have it. The more you react, the more he'll keep doing it. I'm warning you now.
It's too late. It's too late. Mikey B.
I legitimately may never pick the under again on this show for any picks that we do.
So you heard Mikey Byrne, entirely Big 12 coverage.
All 4 games are
Yes.
unders for the record for a reason.
Oh, we got it, EJ.
We figured that out. Hey, so Matt and Sean both took the Lions, and Ernest's favorite word that I'm not going to say. I'll take the the other one. The other one. Frisky. You're right.
Wait, so for them it's
Nothing is over.
Correct.
That one.
If you think I'm picking against Man Campbell, you are living under a rock.
You don't want your kneecaps bitten off, Byrne. I feel
exactly.
You. Wait. Are you living under a rock? Sorry.
And now the car
I
accident.
hate that was actually good. I hate that was good. Like that was well done. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Sorry, continue.
I almost said the F word.
I hope they find you under the surveillance van after this show. Give me the over.
He did it.
Holy crap.
Got out of him.
Look, Lions had a rough one. They got beat by Baker Mayfield. That's fine. He's a smarter man than he used to be. He got out of Cleveland. That's very smart.
Wow. Listen, joking aside, Baker Mayfield's grown up. I feel better about it.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. But I am not picking against my Lions this week. Give them I'm going to take them to win and to cover without question.
Homer.
And I am going to take the over as well. There will be points.
I know why he's hitting under like that. It's because he has a Jewish wife. He's saying it like Hanukkah. It's the Chunder. That's what it is. I got
By
it.
the way,
this
is ridiculous. The best game of the week is not even on this list.
What is the best game of the week in your opinion, Ernest Christian?
Ravens and Cowboys.
No, it's not.
Well, okay, let me be clear. This is Jim avoiding trauma. Let him have it.
No.
Excuse me.
Hell no.
No. Do not do that to our friend's mental health on what is part of his show.
Fragile, dang it.
But can I also reiterate for a second? Because Baltimore's 0-2 right now.
Allegedly.
Hypothetically, and I'm not saying this will happen.
Oh, God.
But they can go 0-5. Do you see the next 3 games on the schedule? Dallas.
I'm sorry, EJ, what happened?
Oh, look, he's got an EJ face again.
I bet
Dallas in order. Dallas, Buffalo, Cincinnati, the next 3 games.
So
now,
again,
I think they'll win most of those games.
Joe,
however,
get down right here.
But Joe said it. Just saying. So I know you and your trauma.
He's
Jerry
making
Jones.
fun of
I
you.
get it. I understand. Whatever. I don't care. I'm correct on this. This is a must win for the Ravens. So
I do have the updated standings through the weeks of the NCAA and the NFL. If we would like to.
Oh God, please don't.
This isn't that bad. For the NCAA, currently, Matt is 16-13-1. So am I. Kyle is 13-16-1. Ernest is 12-17-1.
Take that, hippie.
Jim is 10-19-1.
Take that, hippie.
Humpy Bumpy.
And evil twin Sean is 6-7-1.
Now that one I'll say, take that, Humpy Bumpy.
Yeah, that's Humpy Bumpy.
And in the NFL, leading the way right now.
Shouts to Bob Euchre. Why not?
Student of the game, Colin Nash leading the way, 18-6 in the NFL. Ernest is 17-7.
How did you let that happen?
I'm offended by you be on top of me right now.
She said.
Way to go, a-holes!
Jim and myself sit at 14-10.
Mediocre.
Sean is 13-11.
Trash.
Matt is 12-12.
Where he belongs.
Well, that's because
we're
Matt,
all 500 or above in the NFL. So
hashtag talent, I guess, is the correct answer. That's
you ain't
right.
good as me and Kyle though. She.
You know what? I'll high five with you. No, you all you did was imitate the mayor from The Wire, and I'll allow that.
Mm-hmm. I didn't say it, but I didn't say it, though. I didn't say the word.
Sir, you've been approved. Stop selling.
That's right. That's how you guys know.
Okay, it's gonna be okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
No, we're done with picks, huh?
We are done. I have the music ready.
No, I have the music ready, sir, because we all know what time it is. It's time for everybody's promotional tool to get in the building. You people out there may call it the power rankings, but me, I call it folks, I have to tell you, crimes will be committed, and we'll get into that later. But EJ Christian, I am actively covering my screen. Go right ahead.
Okay, so here we go.
For the podcast audience that is not on the YouTube channel, first off, subscribe. EJ, I'm talking.
Oh,
EJ.
I'm sorry.
Shut up.
I thought you said it. I'm sorry.
I hear the music. That's why.
But yeah, for those, I need to. My bad. I actually cut the 5 off the graphic. That's an oops on my end. But it is. This is the tool time. EJ's power rankings. We go top 10. We go bottom 5. Stare at the right side of your screen only for right now. EJ, let's hear your bottom 5.
This is also the season debut of Tool Time.
Correct.
For record. 20-32. Here we go. 28 the Commanders. 29 the Broncos. 30th the Titans. 31 the Giants. 38 the Panthers, because they should be 32. That's too high for them. Fellas, bottom 5. Like it or not like it?
Okay. As the person who's allegedly EJ's biggest critic on this panel, I like his bottom 5.
Oh my God! What a shock!
Take it.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything super duper wrong here. I mean, you at least got the bottom 2 100% correct.
I will say this, not to spoil too much, but in the event the entire panel would do a bottom 5, everybody has the same 31 and 32.
Yes, which is the correct answer. Which is the correct answer. I know for me, I also have the Titans at 30. I have the Broncos at 29. I have the Rams at 28.
Sir, we don't need to spoil things. Let's wait till we do the top 10 before we start talking about who has what.
Sorry.
With all due respect, sir.
Sorry.
Easy Christian, if you're inclined to try to sell us on your top 10, go right ahead.
Here we go. Top 10. And I'm sure all the arguments will start here. Number 10, the Vikings. Number 9, the Chargers. Or Chargers for Jim. Number 8, the Eagles. Number 7, the Saints. 6, Lions. 5, Buccaneers. 4, Texans. 3, Niners. 2, Bills Mafia. And number 1, of course, Patty Mahomes and those damn Chiefs.
Now, this is the part where you just had to go about effing up the entire rotation.
Here we go. When I get it wrong, Blake.
Bills are not 2. What are we doing?
Okay, cool. Who's number 2 then?
Not the Bills. I have the Texans there still, playing actual teams with potential talent in question. The Bills played the Cardinals. I'm not impressed. What are we doing? Okay. Then they played the Dolphins, who didn't finish the game with Tua Tagovailoa, who represents, what is it, 200 and something of their $387 million in offensive.
They were dominating the Dolphins before he got hurt. What are we talking about?
That's not acceptable.
They're up 31-10 before he got hurt. What are we talking about?
Well, you're still wrong. By the way, some of us on this panel had the Bills winning that game anyway in August, but nobody wants to talk about it.
Please make you right.
The only thing that's worse than the Bills at 2 is the Niners at 3. What in the entire hell? Listen, I know you take edibles, so I know the answer to what are you smoking is nothing, but stop with the edibles when you do this ish.
Too high, huh?
So, bro, Snoop Dogg isn't this high. What are we doing?
That's good.
Where have you been for the last 4 years?
Who do you trust?
That's why he has them at 3.
Jim gets it. Thank you, Jim.
Apparently he trusts Brandon.
He's wrong. He's wrong, but that's why he did it.
I appreciate
you're wrong. This will be wrong. And get used to it.
President Bartlett.
Your use of President Bartlett and trying to absolve yourself from this, but considering all the injuries the Niners have, that alone should keep them out of the top 5.
Fair enough.
Oh yeah, he is wrong, but I know why he has them there.
And why is
Because
that?
he's looking at week 18, not week 2.
Well, then he's doing a bad job of doing this again. I mean, I'll leave it at that. The Vikings at 10.
This guy gets it.
The Vikings at 10, also highly questionable. I will say this in your defense, without spoiling too much. Where you place the Saints is more acceptable than a lot of people on this panel.
I gotta see
More on that
That's it.
later.
That could change this weekend. Like I said, if they win again this weekend, that could, you know what I'm saying, how they win.
This is what drives me nuts. This is how you're like the band System of a Down. You'll have moments in your songs that are absolutely heartwarming and moving and just badass. And then you'll throw something in there that completely ruins the entire thing. So, yeah, I just compared your power rankings to System of a Down. Take that, bass player. Anyways, let's go ahead and comments. Joe's shocker, same season, new results. And Devin, where the hell are the Falcons?
That's funny,
And
Devin.
where they belong, not on this list. Thank you. Moving
By the
on.
way, Kyle, for you.
I can't see it.
System of a Down t-shirt.
That tracks.
Why do you carry that in your security van? Like that's such.
I got
feel
to
like you should
change.
have,
I'm
like-
working. I got to work and change. Come on,
I feel
brother.
like you should have like food and drink, but like
Yeah, have a straw too with it. Look at that.
random band T-shirt seems
When
like
he
a
goes
old
undercover as a degenerate, you know, that he wears that shirt. But then again, would he really need a disguise to be a degenerate is another question. At any rate, that being said, without alleviating other members of the panel, here are the others on the list.
Oh God, here we go. This trash here, Jim.
Out the gate, EJ Christian, of course, talking trash. Jim, I'll go to you first. The Bills
yes, I had Panthers 32, Giants 31, Titans 30, Broncos 29. I had the Rams at 28.
Vikings at 6. What the
They,
hell?
So,
Yeah,
hang on. First of all, read just the bottom half, EJ Christian.
Sorry.
Second, I like why you put the Rams here is because of all the injuries, I assume.
Right, I'm not mad at the 5. I'm not mad at the 5.
So I like you thinking outside the box and doing it correctly. Continue, Jim.
Yeah, because they lost bad and they are in a lot of trouble. All right. Here are my top 10. 10 Eagles, 9 Chargers, 8 Lions, 7 Niners, 6 Vikings, 5 Bucks, 4 Texans, 3 Saints, 2 Bills, and 1 are the Chiefs.
So 1 and 2.
So here's the thing. The way that I've built mine and my early season power rankings are always dramatically different than EJ because I know how to build them. I
boring.
build mine based on what I have seen for the first 2 weeks of the season. So the Saints, the reason I have them as high as I do, as same reason as I have the Vikings where I do, is because after 2 weeks, like the Saints have been one of the best looking teams this season. The Viking, like I think the 49ers are appropriate where they are. Now the Vikings just beat them. I can't not put the Viking, you know, let's see college football rankings at the end of last season. You can't put Alabama above Texas and you can't put Georgia above Alabama. That's how math works. That's why the Vikings are above the Niners right now. That will change. The Vikings are not going to remain the number 6 team in the National Football League. I am sure of that. But for this week, I think they are there.
So what's adorable? It's very fitting that a Notre Dame fan makes this particular lineup because you're giving the Saints extra credit for beating up on the Panthers as if low-level teams matter. And your team losing to NIU, getting bailed out and still being in the top 25 is an adorable thing in itself. That's my point. The Saints should not be 3 on the strength of pummeling the Panthers.
Right.
Okay?
Here's the thing. If we are going to do a ranking segment this early in the season, which I mean, really, there shouldn't be rankings in college or power rankings in the NFL until October.
Well, hey,
But they are, so
this is
whatever.
your
I mean,
segment, not mine, Jim. Let me be clear about that.
Well, you know, we like to make EJ think he's
we're creating content here, buddy.
But like, if we're going to do it, I'm going to base it on what I've seen. right? So this is what I've seen. Whether they've beat one bad team in terms of the Saints,
the worst team.
Well, right, they beat the worst team, but then they also beat a team that everybody on this show, including those that aren't on tonight, have as a playoff team.
And where are they in the power rankings right now, Jim?
They're not there.
Okay, so you have a non-ranked team and the worst team in the league propelling somebody to number 3. That's what I say.
Okay.
And by your logic too, Jim.
No. Let him defend that.
Okay, go ahead.
So the Cowboys would have been there last week, probably in the 8 to 10 range, maybe 7. The Saints would have been probably in the middle ground between 12 and 18. So if a number 18 ranked team, if we're going to go by like a college model, if a number 18 ranked team clobbers the number 7 team, then yeah, they're going to end up in the top 10. Now, I didn't make a ranking last week because we didn't do this segment last week.
What?
So I have to base it on what I've seen in the 2 weeks.
So, Jim, this is what makes me angry about you. For one, you happen to be a decent human, and then you come up with good facts to completely ruin my narrative, and it pisses me off.
That's why I'm the host here.
but this is the logic I have a problem with Jim here. If he's using his whole safe 2-week sample, when I say 2 weeks, the Saints number 1 then by your argument.
No, that's not what he said.
They've been the most dominant team so far in 2 weeks.
That's not what he
said. I mean,
said.
no, damn well not number 1.
Because
the Kansas City Chiefs also defeated the team that most people took to win the AFC North and Baltimore, and the team that everybody has in the playoffs in Cincinnati. I mean, let's look at the strength.
I agree with you, Mike. I agree with you.
Playoffs. No, hold on. Let me dunk on EJ with his own logic. Byrne, you're making a good point. Let me carry it home. A Ravens team that EJ Christian on the Earnestly Speaking podcast during the Stream of the Game report made the mistake of showing me his power rankings, had the Ravens 3rd. The Chiefs not only knocked the Ravens out of that, but then also stood up against the Bengals team, to your point, Byrne, who he doesn't have, you have in the Super Bowl, and he has in the playoffs.
No. So let's carry the dunk on one more level here. The Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Baltimore Ravens, who Ernest projected to win the Super Bowl in the preseason rankings, who Jim predicted to be in the Super Bowl, who Kyle predicted to win the Super Bowl.
Why am I getting strays?
No. What I'm saying is you have to look at the strength of most of the panel has them in the playoffs. 3 of you have them at least in the Super Bowl. And we're sitting here comparing beating the Baltimore Ravens to blowing the doors off of the worst team in probably NFL history.
Yeah,
no, so we all have Chiefs. We all have Chiefs number 1. Other than
right. So here's the deal.
More on that later, EJ.
Yeah. When it comes down to, if I'm looking in this instance, Chiefs, Bills, Saints are my top 3. If the Saints played the Chiefs this weekend, I'd pick the Chiefs. If the Bills played the Saints this weekend, I'd pick the Bills. That's why the Saints aren't higher.
But if the Texans played the Saints, who would you pick?
I'd probably pick the Saints right now.
Then you're on drugs. Next question.
My biggest problem with this list is really the Vikings as high as they are. That's it. That's my biggest issue.
Say it again. Sorry.
My biggest issue with Jim's list is really the Vikings where they're at. Way too high.
I don't love it, but again, like I said, him being a decent human being and him making a credible argument prevents me from continuing to.
You could be a decent human being and still be make shit lists.
Well, first off, they're 2-0.
148. Thank you.
Damn it.
First off, they're 2-0.
Sorry, Kyle.
I understand that they beat the Giants, a terrible Giants team, but that game was over about 2 minutes in. And then they beat a 49ers team that we have as one of the best teams in the NFL. Yes, I understand there's injuries on the Niners side. I understand that the Niners turn the ball over, this and that. However, I can't not look at the fact that they beat them. And when I am going off of a 2-week sample to build my power rankings, I have to use the fact that
you made one mistake there, Jim.
No, hold on.
The Giants season was over. First play was what? Delay a game.
Oh, that's adorable. You're a whiny Giants fan. Moving on.
No, he's not. He's a Cowboys fan, but that's fine.
I'm a Giants fan.
Sorry,
allegedly.
Patriots fan. Allegedly. Stop Stop showing off what you've stolen from garage sales to the cops on this show, you idiot. We don't want you to go to jail and lose your security, man.
I'll show my shit.
Honestly, here's the thing, and here's the part that I think Jim needs to face the reality on. You, as a Cowboys fan, are now expressing how much you respect the 49ers, and that's something you have to go to sleep with tonight. Anyways,
I mean, where did I have them going in the playoffs? Did I have them second round? No, maybe. I think I had them losing in the second round.
yes, because you're a hater. Next question. Mikey Burns, bottom 5.
I as
Go ahead,
well have the Panthers, the Giants. I flipped the Broncos and the Titans, but same bottom 4 in a different order. My 28th, the Indianapolis Colts.
So here's the thing.
Interesting.
If Jim had the soundbite on his computer for Seth Meyers, it would say the following. The problem with haters is they're going to hate. You're really trying to tell me that they took your number 2 team to within 2 points, and now they're the, 5th worst team in the league? Not by.
They also lost to Malik Willis, who couldn't complete a pass in Tennessee, who they've played twice.
So is that a lack of respect on the Packers on your part, or is that truly a failing in the Colts?
I mean, Anthony Richardson has also thrown more interceptions than touchdowns. They're not running the ball all that great right now. They're not moving the ball. 16-10 against a depleted Packers team. They can't get off the field. Their defense was on the field for over 40 minutes. Get a stop.
Real quick, let me ask you this question. You say depleted team. They're down their quarterback and Jordan Love, and that's a big deal. I'm not taking away from that. Aaron Jones is still running prolifically as a guy who cheers
Aaron
for
Jones,
a team.
For the
Aaron
Vikings.
Jones from Minnesota.
Or excuse me.
Not with Josh Jacobs, buddy.
Josh Jacobs.
Thank you. Sorry. Habit. The punchline is, as a guy who cheers for a team whose backup quarterback propelled a talented skill group to damn near the playoffs last year, please tell me how the Packers this season, right now, this instant, are different from your Bengals at that point.
I know who my number 1 and number 2 wide receivers are.
So they had better skill players, is what you're saying.
Correct. And as bad as my offensive line was at points, I knew the 5 guys that were going to be out there. I mean, they're rotating pieces in and out due to injuries. Yeah, Josh Jacobs is running the ball. Absolutely. Fantastic. I'll give the devil his due there. 235 rushing yards on 48 carries. But I don't think he's found the end zone yet as a member of the Green Bay Packers.
Well, I let's not go too far with that. I mean, whether who finds the end zone or not isn't the issue. It's you're worried about how much the team scored, right?
Yes, and I also watched them allow Malik Willis to throw for 122 yards in a game where the Packers had the ball for 40-plus minutes. This isn't good.
122 yards is a lot to you.
The fact that they couldn't get off the field and the quarterback only had 122 yards is more my concern here.
It seems more the previous than the latter. So I will give you this much credit. You may not be a good person. I'm joking. But you, in fact, are bringing a good argument to something that tears up my narrative, and I'm pissed. 10, Mike.
Number 10, I have the Seattle Seahawks. At number 9, I have Great Clock Management by Nick Sirianni. 8th, I have the Los Angeles Chargers. 7, Man Campbell's Lions. 6, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 5, the New Orleans Saints. 4, the San Francisco 49ers. 3, the Buffalo Bills. 2, the Houston Texans. And I have to give the devil his due. Number 1, Patrick LaVon Mahomes II. And
first of all, Homer. Second, my only beef with your top 10 is twofold. I say only beef, but I say twofold. The Seahawks are in a weird bubble where I don't know what to make of them yet, so I'm not going to criticize.
Yeah.
The Bills are still a little high, don't you think? As are the Niners?
So here's my thought process. I took the teams that were right below them. Saints, Bucks, Lions. We'll find out more about the New Orleans Saints over the next couple weeks. We'll find out more about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the next couple weeks.
It
and
is
I have to
ranking at week 2 in your defense.
And I have to penalize the Lions for losing the game to Tampa Bay, which is why Tampa's ahead of them. At this point, I if I'm picking games, even with a depleted roster, I like San Francisco's defense to give both the Saints and Buccaneers fits that they haven't ran into yet. And I think that's where I think even with a backup running back, one of their healthy wide receivers, George Kittle, I think there's still enough weapons that the 49ers would have today if they played on a neutral site or even at home or on the road. I think that they would give both New Orleans and Tampa Bay a run for their money. As for Buffalo at 3, again, the only thing that I have here, I don't love anybody underneath them enough to move Buffalo down. I'm kind of stuck in a spot where, no, them being down most of the game to Arizona and clawing their way back in after Arizona wasn't able to make the second half adjustment, I think that should have been penalized. I think it was last week. The victory over Miami is cute, but like you mentioned, they didn't play the back half of that game against Tua Tagovailoa. It was against Skylar Thompson. At the end of the day,
not great, Bob.
No. And the thing is the Buffalo Bills, the talk that we've had on this show has always been, well, okay, here's the deal. You know, if they get past Miami, it's Jacksonville, and then it's Baltimore and Houston and the Jets. So I think the real core of what we're going to find out from the Buffalo Bills is weeks 4, 5, and 6, the games at Buffalo, at Houston, and again at the Jets. All 3 of those games on the road. You're going to find out what you're getting from this team. So I think that the Bills right now, 2-0, they've escaped. Will they escape moving forward is where I'm like, okay, let's see.
Well, that's the thing. You made all the arguments of why I'm asking why they're at 3. You've given me nothing to keep them.
Because at the end of the day, they are 2-0. They've found a way to escape with wins. Something that the Saints, I'm not going to say that they should be ahead of the Bills. Beating the Carolina Panthers is like beating a random 11U Pee-wee team at this point. We're benching Bryce Young for Andy Dalton. Tampa Bay maybe is the only other team that I would consider putting ahead of, but I don't think I can put them ahead of Buffalo because I don't.
They did beat Jim's Lions.
Correct. Absolutely. And there was a lot of people that before the season started thought that the Dolphins were going to be good. I mean,
and they might be still if it weren't for.
Everybody except for yours truly took them to win the East. I don't know. I'm just saying I think that the Buffalo Bills winning 31-10 in a game where it was ugly, but James Cook ran very well. Josh Allen didn't have to do too much.
So wait, I think you hit the crux of your argument. You're arguing that the Bills have changed their identity and they're not a Josh Allen team. They're a James Cook team, and that's what you're confident in.
I'm confident.
They're a balanced offense team.
I'm confident in them running the ball effectively for the first time in a long time. Whether it's Josh Allen running the football, whether it's Cook running the football, whether it's them using gadget plays. I think on the offensive side of the ball, they're not going to be a team that throws it 52 times a year or 52 times a week.
You know, the problem is, though, your best argument was in Fred Warner reach west, and what am I supposed to do? Say no?
I don't hate Mike's list, though. I mean, it's not better than mine, obviously, but
it's way better than yours. You need to shut your ass. However, we're going to get to now what I can make a strong argument for. God, your evil twin is completely mind effing me here because there's some stuff here I absolutely love, and there's also stuff here I absolutely hate. So, on the evil twin's behalf, his bottom 5 in lockstep with you boys: 32, 31, Panthers and Giants. He has the Broncos at 30, the Titans,
Bears,
and he has the Bears at 28.
TJ, you really have to learn to stop eating the punchline.
Yeah,
you really have to.
The Bears are clearly the worst pick for a bottom 5 team amongst the group. I would love for him to be here to defend himself. Unfortunately, he's not because he's being a responsible father, allegedly. Can anybody give me something there? Hearing them?
Caleb's been pretty meh through 2 weeks, but the defense has been really good.
Yeah.
So I can come with that.
I mean, honestly, I have more reasons to tear it apart. I mean, the offense hasn't looked good the first 2 weeks, but the defense and the special teams found a way to beat the Titans. and they were only down by one
No.
score.
No. The Titans handed that game. Let's be honest.
Sure, but to only lose to the
Texans, the number
4, 2, and 1 in his own power ranking, Houston Texans. To only lose to them by one score, kind of wild.
Thank you for that addition, Jim. My bad.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead, EJ.
I mean, here's the thing, like, about the Bears. What do they call when you do the same thing over and over and think it's going to change?
That would be
insanity.
Insanity. They've still done nothing to protect the investment under center. Like, I just imagine Justin Fields like watching that game, going, ha, "Told you, buddy."
I like that counter bitch. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't matter. You can bring in DeAndre Swift. You can have Cole Kmet. You can bring in DJ Moore. You can draft Caleb Williams. But if you don't put 5 competent and capable guys on that offensive line, it's going to be a problem. It just is, and that's the reality of the Chicago Bears right now. They're not bottom 5 worthy. They've been, despite how bad the offensive line has been. They've been surprising at points.
See, but Jim, this is my whole thing. You're making me completely self-conscious now because you, again, being such a decent human being, that you are literally defending your brother, who was referred to on the show as the evil effing twin. Now you made 28 make sense, and I hate you for it. Damn you to the bowels of the bloodiest hells.
Like, I get it, but I also don't. It's really an odd thing. Spoiler, you guys already spoiled the top. My problem with where he has the Bears is where he has the Texans.
Okay, and then we'll get into it. At number 10, he has the Vikings. Number 9, the best placement of the 49ers amongst this group, by the way, is the 49ers at 9, the Eagles at 8. 7 is the Lions, the Chargers at 6, which is interesting. I don't hate it.
This household loves it, by the way.
Homer. I love the fact that you don't even need it because of the voice act. Okay, you can add that. That's cool. 5 is Saints. Again, all you humpy bumpies just slobbering all over the knob of the Saints blows my mind. At least he has the Bucks at 4 ahead of him. The Bills at 3. God, why? And then Chiefs at 2. Texans at 1. Talk about God, why? Holy snap! What are we doing?
Yeah. So my either the Bears are wrong or the Texans are wrong, right? Because
are involved.
Because the or both. Because they had a close win against the Colts, and then an even closer win against the Bears in a game that the number 1 team didn't score 20 points. So it's either an indictment of the number 1 team or it's a compliment to the team at 28. So that's I think my biggest issue with Sean's list is Texans have to come down or the Bears have to come out of the bottom 5.
Well, I mean, of course, if you believe what EJ says about my ego, I just hate that you made a really great argument that I would have made better than I might have made it. So you can just, osculate upon my entire gluteus maximus. That's me telling you to get
You're welcome.
Well played, Jim. Anybody else got anything to say about the Evil Twins top 10?
Crazy. Trash.
I mean, analysis.
I mean,
Thanks
Texas
for that.
Texas done won. I mean, come on, stop. I mean, KC just beat 2. Granted, I know they're both 0-2, but Bengals and Ravens will be there at the end. Chiefs are number 1.
Both games that the Chiefs probably should have lost,
but they didn't lose. And here's the bottom line.
The Texans didn't lose either.
But here's the bottom line, though. That reflects more on they're the one team that gets a pass because they're the Chiefs.
Why? Why do they get a pass?
Because they're champs. They're back-to-back champs.
Who cares?
Who cares? Well, I mean, if that's your rank, I get it. But
play better team. That's the correct answer.
Correct.
Thank you. At least that's the correct answer.
They also do it in the biggest stage. So
God, I can't wait for this team to fall apart so I can just look at you and go, are you just gonna just trust them as they're 2 and 5?
I have a great sample right now. He'll keep him at number
3 all year.
Excuse
he
me,
did
Jim.
it 2 years ago when they had no business in the top 5.
Excuse me, Jim. May I have a hubba, please?
Who do you trust? Hubba, hubba, hubba. Money, money, money. Who do you trust?
Thank you, sir.
The
I
middle is not terrible.
I trust the Houston Texans.
They're a very good team.
Apparently, so does Sean. But damn,
He does.
But number one though, number one.
that's a
It's
bit.
not.
much.
It's. I don't think it's as wild as you're making it out to be.
I mean, they're clearly a top 5 team in the
At
league.
some-
Obviously, I mean,
Not to sound like Joel Klatt, but at some point, the play on the field has to matter. And while they beat the Ravens by a toe, and
rightly so.
thank you, sir. Well done, Jim. Not only did they beat the Ravens by a toe and a wrist that nobody wants to talk about based on that halftime bat down the Chiefs defense had, let's also give a little credit to the fact that they were able to play sustained football longer than the Bengals and keep their resolve regardless of whatever happened to Jamar Chase. No one says Jamar Chase is wrong. He still lost his cool. That's the point.
in reality, the Chiefs and every team's best shot every week because they're the Chiefs.
That's-
Bottom line.
That's actually a relatively good point, EJ. So
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I don't
151 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Gets
Pat Mahomes.
gets bailed out by 2 penalty calls.
sir, you don't get the opportunity to boast your Bengals defense and tell us how great they are.
I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you that if you're telling me that you trust them, how do you trust that Patrick Mahomes is going to beat a team throwing for 151 yards?
And I'm answering that question. You can't boast your defense and then have them that be the second good defense they played and then attack their stats. They played 2 good defenses and still won the football games.
I get it. It's frustrating. I totally
So
get
did
it.
Houston. Houston won the football games.
Yes, but
They didn't get handed the football game.
Your 28th team in the league with a bad defense is one of those teams, and they only beat them by 2.
And the
I mean,
Chiefs
Sean's
won
28.
by a combined 5 points in 2 games. I mean, we're just gonna keep doing the song and dance. I get it. You believe in Patrick Mahomes. That's fine and dandy.
No, it's not that I believe in Patrick Mahomes. I'm giving more respect to your team and the Ravens than I will the Bears
and the Colts. Right.
That's where I'm at. It's
Right.
a strength of schedule argument, buddy. Well played, Jim.
I mean, you do agree with it. To be fair, Mike. So I mean,
I also agree that when they lose to Atlanta, when he throws for 155 yards this week against that team, then if he's in the top 3, then we just know that it's just never going to change.
Well, okay, listen, and we'll address that when it happens, buddy. One thing at a time, home slice. Okay,
buddy. Okay, this team that is so trusted is only a 3.5-point favorite on the road against primetime Kirk Coupons.
Because they're
okay.
the Chiefs.
So what I hear you saying is that Las Vegas, the same Las Vegas that thought Texas A&M should be a favorite over Notre Dame, is what you're trusting.
No, I'm saying that there's something in the water that says that Vegas believes that this Patrick Mahomes team is not as good as previous Patrick Mahomes-led teams.
Oh, they're just forgetting that the Chiefs are a defensive team, as I've tried to remind America since last year this time, right? Listen, Mike, I'm not here to say your argument is bad per se. I'm just trying to express it. This is a good back and forth and makes for quality content. And you know what, Bern? I will say this for you. If what you're forecasting and what Vegas is forecasting happens, I'm looking forward to your top 10. That being said, gentlemen, with some of the silliness I've seen here, somebody's been accused of making the biggest crime. With that being said, boy, I wish I'd remember to turn the volume up on that. With that being said, let's explore our candidates for biggest crime amongst these here. Of course, first off, thank you, Jim. What the hell? That was awesome. The Chiefs not at 1, according to the evil twin. All of you humpy bumpies for having Bills no lower than 3. The Niners, anybody who had them above 5 is just absolutely nuts to me. I won't talk about how people did stuff with the Saints, but that was crazy. And then how many people, 3 people guilty of this crime, the Vikings at the top 10, Somebody as high as 6. What? No.
He's high.
Panel. Who on earth committed the biggest crime? Jim, let me start with you. Or do you have something different from what I listed?
What's that?
I say, who committed the biggest crime? Or do you have something different from what I listed here? These pieces.
No, I think Texans at 1 is the biggest.
You sat there and made that great argument, and now you're not even on this entire.
Well, no, like I'm trying to like play Sean's reasoning, but also like criticize it because he is not here to defend himself.
We're honestly, I mean,
right, like I like put it this way. I actually like the Bears in the bottom 5 more than I like the Texans at 1 because I like right now I don't think the wait, what? The Bears are like the Cowboys with Romo under center.
That's so uncalled for, Joe. You're just being mean.
I don't really.
Wow.
I mean,
That's a take.
Yeah, you're talking about the best quarterback in the history of the Cowboys franchise. There, I'm very lost.
It's an argument. It's definitely an argument.
I don't think it is an argument. I think it is fact.
EJ,
but,
I don't know, but listen. I know you're a Cowboys fan, but it's Jim's term right now. Okay.
Yeah, I just. When looking at, and here's the thing, I have the Texans at 4, but if I'm looking at like Mike was just making the argument like Texans Chiefs, like he's saying like I don't like if you want to make the argument for Texans at 2, I'm fine with that. But if I'm looking at the competition of the two right now, 2 weeks in, like I'm gonna give the edge to the Chiefs. I just where I had the Texans versus where Sean had the Texans, those are 3 big spots. I think that's the biggest crime.
Fair enough. Mikey Byrne, biggest crime.
I'm gonna say that it is. I'm actually gonna go against Jim. I'm gonna say it's the Bears in the bottom 5. Because if you're gonna talk about how great the Houston Texans are, to keep them to only 19 points, to keep them having an opportunity to win that game. That defense has played out of its mind the first 2 weeks of the regular season. There's always that adjustment of a rookie quarterback catching up to the speed of the National Football League. So if this defense is able to keep them in games against top 5 teams in all of our power rankings, I have to say that the Bears being in the bottom 5 is just a head scratcher. There are so many other teams that have underperformed throughout this season that I think that putting them in this spot is just something that I can't agree with.
EJ Christian,
I actually changed mine real quick.
Please go ahead.
A team who beat a geriatric quarterback who hadn't played a game in a full year and then lost to the Vikings, who apparently I'm too high to have them at 6. The guy who just lost to those Vikings has that team at 3. EJ having the Niners at 3 is the biggest crime on these lists.
You just said you want to pick on me. That's why.
Hard.
Okay. I get it.
Hard agree.
And you're wrong, Jim. Wrong, sir. Wrong.
Excuse me. If you might apply a President Bartlett to EJ Christian right now, Jim.
Just stand there in your wrongness and be wrong and get used to it.
I want to curse so bad.
I think it's appropriate that the biggest crime segment be wrapped up by a man who's in a security van. EJ Christian, biggest crime committed.
It's Jim's number 6 Vikings. I want to say, I mean, look, Bears offense
which
bottom
further
5.
proves my point.
I mean, Bears. You did that on purpose. That's why to get me all flustered up now. Bears bottom 5. Look, the Bears offense bottom 5. I'll give them that. But defense has been spectacular this year. Vikings number 6 is egregious, absolutely egregious. So yeah, Jim, you are definitely a criminal for doing that.
The defense rests. Thanks for proving my point.
Actually, internal affairs called, said that that's a horrible defense, and you are in fact going to jail for making such a bad defense. That was absolutely asinine. Jim, I have the sound effects for the next segment, but I'm happy to let you take it home if you're so inclined.
Yeah, I got him. I got him as well. Wow, this was an episode.
That's one thing it was, Jim.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
As we do to close the show each and every week, we will look at one thing that will happen this coming weekend. And EJ, since you committed the biggest crime, I'll let you go first. What will happen
Allegedly.
this week?
Allegedly.
And as I tell you almost every week,
Stop.
Please
Stop.
don't be lame about
Don't
this.
pull that crap at me, okay?
please don't be lame about it.
Calm down.
That's
Excuse
right,
me.
you're
Excuse me.
Lock
Excuse
it
me.
up.
Jim, don't make him curse in my house, please.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I'm
my
sorry.
lock
Sorry.
of the week is simple. I'm gonna go once again. Lock of the week is gonna be Josh Jacobs will once again go over 150 around.
That's actually pretty bold. I respect it.
I like that. I'm okay with that.
Don't mess with me.
Student of the game, Kyle Nash.
Listen, oh boy, it is. The bad part about preparing for two shows, especially when one's a simulcast, is when you haven't done enough research on a particular question, it gets exposed like Janet Jackson in a halftime show. But for me, gracious, Georgia, Alabama's next week. Damn it. Yeah, Oklahoma State loses. Lock it up.
I like it.
Lock it up.
All right, Mikey B.
I said it when we talked about the power rankings. It wasn't a spoiler. It was a shoot. Give me Kirk coupons. Give me prime time perk thuggins. Give me the Falcons to end the storybook reign of Patrick LeVon Mahomes II so that Ernest can't rank him at number 1, even though he will still have him there because he trusts him, even though he loses the prime time perk.
This guy gets it.
Hubba.
Lock it up.
First of all, Mike, I'm not mad at you,
I
but
love
did
it.
you just say Kirk Thuggins? Is that a
Perk
Thuggins.
thuggins, baby.
Kirk Thuggins.
Perk thuggins.
just checking? I heard you right, homie. It's up there with the Thunder.
Dude, they love him in Atlanta. They love Perk 2 Chains on up there in the
There's a lot of perk in Atlanta.
More soon enough. That's all I'll say. Anyways,
All right, and EJ, part of the reason why this game wasn't in the week 3 NFL predictions is because I knew I don't like to build my locks or into my predictions. The John Harbaugh hot seat chatter will heat up this week when the Dallas Cowboys turn the Baltimore Ravens into an 0-3 team.
oh, I didn't realize the lock it up button was that close to the Homer button. I think you hit the wrong one there, homie.
Yeah, Homer.
Jim.
Homer.
I hope you're right. Thank
I
you.
hope I'm right too.
Excuse me. May I have one more Homer for the Bengals fan?
You
please?
can.
Sure, absolutely.
Homer.
And it's also like
All of the shot.
it's a Marge because he's hoping the Cowboys beat the Ravens. So it's
Homer.
Yeah.
Marge.
there we go.
This is confusing.
It's by
now.
proxy.
Oh my gosh.
right.
Anyways, fellas, we're at that part of the show where we start doing the branding thing. I think there's no better place than do the Rocky theme with the kazoo than right now. Listen, let's go ahead and go with it. Mikey Bird, tell the world.
Oh my
God.
Got it on the record.
Turn it up. So a little bit. You're a sick man, Kyle.
I'm also a bad humpy bumpy.
Yes, bumpy.
Mikey Bird, tell the world where you can be found as you're getting flying high. Got him.
You can follow me on Twitter at They Call Me Burn. I don't want to say anything else. I just want to listen to the kazoo.
He's a Christian. Tell the world.
You're better than that.
So I asked ChatGPT what a humpy bumpy was. It says either a slang expression, a game or toy, a food or drink, or a phrase from a specific culture or region.
I believe in some method, all of those are accurate.
Cultural region.
Culture or region.
Crikey! Look at this crocodile I found in
Crikey.
the
Bumpy. Anyway, play the song, please.
I'm finding it. Chill out. Don't be a hater. Tell the world you can be found.
I love it. You can find me on Twitter/X at EJChristian7. YouTube page, of course, everything's on my YouTube page at Ernest at youtube.com/Ernest Christian. TikTok blowing up as of late. At Ernest Christian. Ernest Christian Podcast. Of course, all podcast catchers. And I love this kazoo so much. Kyle.
Jim, if he can fight through the tears, tell the world.
Oh, God, I can't. What is happening? At Big Jim Sports, I have the link tree there.
This was a show.
At Big Jim Sports, hit the link tree. That's where you'll find Huddle Up Podcast, 3CT, Take 3 Wrestling, Discussions with a Nobody. It's all there. Good God.
Wait, where's your link tree? Is it under the
No, it's not. Stop that.
You know, I put together a link tree. I just keep forgetting what the damn URL is. You're going to eat the whole thing, of course.
Hey, just tell them it's on your Twitter. You don't even need to remember it. They just have to hit it.
X? It's X.
Yes, it is. No, it is not X. Kyle is not on X.
Stop family. I'm not trying to tell people I'm on X. So get the wrong idea. How many times must I make that joke?
Mark Cuban, please just buy the thing and restore it to what it should be.
Oh my God. Like when you said that, Jim, my shoulders actually relaxed. I love that idea.
Well, he said he's interested.
Oh boy. Don't you tease me.
I just want TweetDeck back. That's all I want. Just give me TweetDeck back and give me the word Twitter. Like that's all I need.
Jim, here's what you've done. With me playing the kazoo to the Rocky theme in the background, you found a way to make me frickin' sad. Thank you. Of course, I'm Kyle Nash, the student of the game. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at the SoTG. Find me on Facebook as the student of the game. Check out my triumphant writings on the Black and Gold banneret covering UCF football and basketball coming up soon, as well as, I don't know what you're showing me, Berm. I'm trying to finish it up. As well as, oh, snap. That's right. It's linkedin.com/BSOTG. I'm so smart. Thank you, Bern, for saving me. So make sure you go there as well. Also, check out my writings with Fans First Sports Network, covering the Jacksonville Jaguars as well as the Duval Dive Wednesday nights before this show at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. But Monday night this week, make sure you check out the live reaction Duval Dive live. That's what I'm talking about. And Joe, make sure that you find this show under the Humpy Bumpy. That's the place where it belongs. An honor, joy, and privilege. I'm going to finish out the show because I'm pretty sure Jim is dying. So, for Mikey Byrne,
I can't, man.
Eagles Jaworski, and Big Jim Neese of Huddle Up Inc., the CEO himself, I am Kyle Nash, the student of the game. Until next time, everyone, class dismissed. Oh, wait, I got to turn it up for the bell. There we go.